Black Line Brief starts now.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Wait, yes, Monday. Well, I don't know why that always happens right when I get live. I forget what day it is. How are you guys doing today? Good to see you. Welcome to another episode of the Black Line Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim. And as you guys come in and get settled, please do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe. It is the best way to help support this channel. And I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Well, let's see. Today I got my throat coat in, my little lozenger, so I hopefully won't have any issues with my voice. But let's see. There we go. Here we go, guys. All right. You guys probably saw Candace Owens' episode today. You also probably either saw or some of you might still be in Baron Coleman's stream. It's okay. We won't hold it against you. We'll see in a little bit, probably. Tick tock, tick tock, tick. Anyway, they covered some things that I would like to cover. I got the show planned that I have for you guys today. However, there's some key things that really stuck out to me that I really want to drive home as well. And it's going to help me once Candace starts with it, and then we'll get to Baron's portion of it. Really just driving home. Oh my goodness, Officer Bagley and Alan Robertson. And there's just some all right, I don't want to get in my head of myself. It'll help me once I start playing them. All right, let's do that.
Bagley, you're up. Man, that finds the screwdriver on the rooftop. The screwdriver, we still don't know if a screwdriver even works for that particular gun.
It doesn't.
That part's a bit strange. We do know it has Lance Twiggs's DNA alongside Tyler Robinson's DNA.
It does.
Unfortunately, we can't even look at the moment that this screwdriver is found on the rooftop because, unfortunately, Officer Bagley's body cam went off at the exact wrong time. And we know he was with somebody, accompanied by somebody in plain clothes onto that rooftop when he found that screwdriver. And we would love to be able to ask that guy questions. But, well, Officer Bagley didn't get his name or something. I guess being an officer at UVU, you couldn't just be like, hey, can we get that footage so I can see who I was in the rooftop with for this really important moment where we find Tyler Robinson's DNA? They don't get access or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's listen to some of his less than compelling moments from his testimony at the preliminary hearing. Take a listen.
All right. Before I start this, I was talking about this with my beautiful wife, that this is just the prime example of what's wrong with this entire freaking case. We can't get one piece of evidence that doesn't have an issue with it. We can't get one eyewitness or one person that testifies on the stand, whether that's freaking, what investigator Hull, Officer Bagley, there was that Polynesian girl lady that was part of SBI, State Bureau of Investigation. All of them have amnesia. All of them forget to testify on the stand something they wrote in their report back in September and October, right? And we don't even see evidence that was claimed as evidence in the beginning, this freaking screwdriver. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is the only actual piece of physical evidence that can place Tyler on the roof. It is so incredibly vital to the case. The only other thing that the prosecution has to putting Tyler on the roof of the Losi Center are those blurry, grainy, pixelated, Sasquatch, ant, not 4K, not high def, not clear videos of Eagle Boy, of a freaking black blur blob, the potato cam, as somebody has coined it on X. There's nothing else. They lied and said there was DNA and fingerprints on the ledge when he hops down. Ho, ho, ho. Nope. Nope. Chain of custody issues. Mr. Officer, Officer Bagley wrote in his initial report, okay, that when he heard the rifle shot, it registered as a higher caliber long gun rifle, and he knew that must have been from a distance, and there must be a sniper. And he, with all of his experience like Sherlock Holmes, he just scans the horizon until he gets to the corner of the Losi Center roof and goes, aha, yonder, there it is. And then supposedly he runs over there. So this guy, in a matter of seconds of the Big Bang, was able to identify the prime shooting location with, without knowing anything, right? Without knowing anything. But like Dan Flood, Brian Harpole, his entire security team, not to mention Chief Long and all the officers that knew Charlie was coming in advance. They knew where Charlie would be placed. Not one of them, none of them, nobody raised any concerns as to potential sniper perches, potential danger roofs. But Officer Bagley, with his wealth of experience, was able to find it in mere seconds of the Big Bang. However, it takes him a long time. I mean, he's not in good shape, but also in his report, it wasn't consistent with his testimony on the stand. Okay. And then when crossed by the defense, he crumbles. Barron points out tonight, okay, the Axiom body cam goes here, right? We see that from that other Asian police officer from down on the ground. We know exactly what it is. It's one of the most reliable and widely distributed body cams in the United States among police forces. Holds a battery charge 10 to 14 hours. They get charged every night. They get docked. When they dock them, whatever the previous officer's body cam footage from that shift gets automatically uploaded, and it like zeroes it out, like clears it out, resets it. He checks it out in the morning. Okay. Those body cams don't run continuously. That's how they are able to hold such long batteries as well. It's when an officer gets a call, when he's engaging with a citizen, he turns it on. They also have the capability to be turned off. And if you remember from like the Las Vegas shooting and like other incidents, like they'll like do hand signals, like don't say anything until you turn it off. Now we're about to do something illegal. Shh. There's no reason why that body cam gets turned on, runs for 27 minutes, and then dies. He doesn't even know if it dies. That's another lie. Barron pointed it out tonight. The thing flashes, beeps, and vibrates when it's about to die. There would be no question in Officer Bagley's mind whether it died or whether he turned it off. But a liar who lies on the stand and perjures himself, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Officer Bagley? I guess you just lie. Not to mention, he allows someone else on this crime scene. They all do. Chief Long doesn't ask any of the plainclothes officers to verify that their badges are legitimate. He just accepts it. Oh, they got a badge. People impersonate officers all the time. You can buy fake badges that look really real. Didn't ask him to pull out his identification card, which would identify him as a peace officer. Not to mention, Alan Robertson ends up kind of running the show. And he's the gentleman that's up there that, I don't know, man. I got to be careful. He's up there when Officer Bagley finds the screwdriver. He didn't even remember who he was. That's a lie. Officer Bagley's whole testimony on the stand is perjury. Like the whole thing, you know? He goes on at later parts to say, like confidently, that he can see Tyler Robinson with a rifle on the roof. Catherine Nestor goes, whoa, wait. We just watched it together. You saw a rifle? And he goes, well, I mean, you can tell, and he does this with his hands. You can see it's like a long, pointy, object that, is like a rifle. You mean underneath the towel or the blanket? And he's like, well, I don't know if it's a blanket. You don't know if it's a blanket, but you know what's under the blanket. Got it. Cool. All right. Here we go, Candace. Let's get him.
It appears to me from reviewing your body camera that there was another individual who was with you that went to the Losi building who was in civilian clothing but appeared to have a gun. Who was that?
I don't know who he was exactly. He had a badge on, and I had somebody with me to back me up as I ran up the stairs to make sure I had somebody with me.
Do you guys find that believable? Either they're so incompetent and stupid that all it would take would be for one of us to have a sidearm, look like a lot of people mistake me for LEO, law enforcement. When I'm in plain clothes, I'm prior military. I walk around like that. That's what the Marine Corps does to you. It just makes you walk like that. You just walk like that. If I had a sidearm and I had some sort of, badge underneath my shirt in that long chain, like Alan Robertson does, and then I just busted out in an incident, you mean like I could literally destroy a crime scene, at least in Utah, at least at UVU. That's how they do it. All it takes is for you to look the part, have a sidearm, have a little shiny badge, and they don't ask any questions. Like, what the heck? That's insane. And in fact, it's like Mr. Peace Officer Robertson ends up like taking jurisdiction and like control of the scene. And little Officer Bagley is just like, yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir. Turn it off now. Okay. Beep. Oh, you found it? Oh, okay. Okay. Take your word for it. You got the badge. Remember, like Brian Harple, he's got the tattoo. We don't question each other. He's got the tattoo. I don't question him. He's got a badge. He's got a gun. What was I supposed to do? I don't know. Ask him to leave. Tell him to fully identify himself, verify it with 2 forms of ID, look at his, law enforcement ID, and then his civilian driver's license. How about you do that? How about you leave your body cam on and you ask him to identify himself and you verify it before you turn off the body cam? How about that? How are us civilians smarter? You guys, this just shows you we are all so screwed. All of us. We're one sad crisis incident away from any of these guys screwing us over. And it's the same thing with the politicians. They're all evil, corrupt, stupid. What are we to do? What are we to do? What, we're supposed to use legal means to vote them out? Yeah, okay. That'll work. How's it work so far? Look who we got. Not working. Okay. Holy smokes.
So you don't know what agency he's from or where he's from?
No.
And it looked like he had a pistol.
Yes.
Is that right?
I had gun, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, 10 months later, he had no desire to just go over to the campus that he works on and say, hey, could you run the tape back? I'd like to see who I was on the rooftop with when I found this incredible piece of evidence. And he explains further about the body cam losing that footage. Take a listen.
All right, your body cam footage that I reviewed appears to end while you're still on the roof. Do you know why that is?
I think the battery went dead. It was just right at that moment.
Okay. And do you know, did you ever turn it back on that day or go get it I don't know, what do you have to do? Charge it or stick a new battery in it? I don't even know.
Usually dock it, but no, I didn't go back. It was too chaotic running around.
So that 27-minute and 35-second body cam that starts when you're at the Hall of Flags and ends while you're still on the roof, but haven't put the crime tape up yet, that's the only body cam you have that day?
Yes.
All right.
You know, people are speculating that Officer Bagley might not be telling the whole truth. You know, they say you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
So help you God.
He might be telling the truth. His body cam footage was off, how it got off, maybe not the whole truth, and the nothing but the truth. People are going, I don't know. See, there's some weird things. We're going to address this timeline here. Take a look at this, right? I want to point your attention to 12:39 p.m. The first FBI agents arrive at UVU with the chiefs of police. That's what we are told. We were told it just took 16 minutes, according to Kash Patel and Dan Bongino in various interviews before they got there and secured the scene. So that's before 12:44, which is when Officer Bagley testifies that he arrives on the rooftop.
And that's insane, right? She said the local office is about 50 something minutes away. It's like they knew. It's like they were on their way. Oh, they get the call and they're like, wow, it just so happens we were already coming. We'll be there 16 minutes.
Right? He gets onto Losi building at 12:44. He discovers that screwdriver 10 to 15 feet past the railing in the gravel. Now, let's listen to Kash Patel say that so there's no confusion that that's what we were told by the FBI.
Charlie was shot at 12:23 p.m. on Wednesday. The first FBI agents arrived on scene in 16 minutes with chiefs of police at 12:39 and secured the scene.
Wow.
Again, what I want to stress here is that it took 16 minutes for them to arrive on scene. That is remarkably fast, given the FBI office is actually located in Salt Lake City.
Wow.
It's a 50-minute drive. It's actually incredible that they got there that quickly. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they had foreknowledge.
Yeah.
They have a little office in a building in Provo nearby that has apparently 4 agents.
Maybe they were all there just waiting for 12:23. Time to go.
So I'm stressing that because I want to underscore, and you can come out of that, guys. I want to underscore that Officer Bagley went onto Losi rooftop after the feds had arrived and had secured and began securing the scene. And we can assume that the FBI is not going to allow just anybody to traverse onto Losi rooftop, right? Or onto any rooftop for that matter, because they're looking for a potential sniper, right? Randos in plain clothes jumping onto rooftops without the right credentials in the.
Believe it or not, they sure do just let about anybody go up there.
Here's the footage. Let's watch that. 12:47 p.m. Random person walking and
Oh, red hat, blue shirt, little fanny pack.
they catch.
Right there. There it is. Where have we seen this guy? Huh. Where have we seen this guy before? Let me make it big for you. Let's play a game. Where is Waldo? Okay. Who can spot him first? Red hat, blue shirt. I'll give you a hint. Bottom right-hand corner. Right in front of the kid with the yellow and orange backpack. Boing, he's right here. There he is. He's all up in it right away. There he's walking. Let's keep going. Everybody clear out. See the body cam? That's the axiom right there. I can't wait to. Can we get his? Did his not die? I don't know his name. There he is. You see the red hat in the back? Waldo's walking. Waldo's walking around. There he goes. He's about to go. And I think that's one of the security team members on Integrity Security Solutions. like Justin or something like that. Mr. Bearded, plaid shirted guy, red hat. Look at him go. It's almost as if Adam Bartholomew knows who to record. Awfully weird. These are the EMTs that had the specific amount of training and experience to have helped with vascular, critical, neck wound, gunshot wound trauma. These guys could have done an actual job and possibly saved Charlie. And they had the equipment. They get shunned away. No, we don't need you. Don't worry, we're not trying to save his life, in my opinion. No, thanks. We got it. I'm just going to get in there like a kitty cat and I'm 36 feet. Frank's in the back like, don't worry, we don't need the bags. I'm just going to pray out loud until it's 20, 30 seconds. Chest compressions, mouth to mouth. Yeah. Rick Cutler's he's like, what do I do with my hands? What do I do with my hands? Charlie's in his lap. Frank's like, what was that? What's that movie? And with Will Ferrell, and he's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. What do I do with my hands? And he's like, just grab me. Brian Harple's like, just grab me. And he's like, oh, I gotcha. Why? Why am I holding you? Because we're going to tell everyone that I'm falling out of the car. We got to account for the door being cracked open. Okay, I got you. That's how he knows I got the tattoo. The dumbest people ever. All right, there he is. Red hat, blue shirt, fanny pack, khaki shorts, along with, oh, look at Butch Hibbs is over there. Jack Hibbs' brother, Santa Claus, camping Santa Claus. Butch Hibbs, look at him. White hat, plaid shirt. The road mic is now not in his front pocket. What do you know? Let's see, we're going to skip. I'm just watching. Oh, look at him communicating. Chief Long's there. Wait, get out of the way, bro. Chief Long is there, and they're like, what do we do? How do we got to start picking stuff up. We got to start destroying the crime scene, in my opinion. My opinions.
We have multiple eyewitnesses saying that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. And
Yeah.
They saw blood spray.
Who else is there? No, that's not Phil Lyman, though. Hold on. Let's go to. He's gonna walk. There he is. This guy's just all up in it right away, running some of the show. That is another cop. I don't think that's Officer Bagley, though. Let's see.
I'm getting out of here.
Okay, another security team member here. Chief Long. And then here is the Alan Robertson guy. By the way, this is a good view to look up, and you can see that up here, right? See that caution tape right there? Right there. This is the Hall of Flags, all right? Inside of here is where that one video was recorded from inside the Hall of Flags facing out towards the Losi Center, and it picks up Eagle Boy running across immediately. This is the only roof that Brian Harple and Dan Flood and Chief Long were worried about on that day. Not prior. No. They weren't worried. That day, there was some students up here in the morning throwing rocks down on the tent. So they put caution tape up, blocked it off, and they put Officer Bagley up here and one of the security members from Integrity Security Solutions.
Thanks, love. You guys up this way. Let's go up that way. Hey!
Let's see. Yeah. Yep, that's him. All right. Oh, Terrell Farns. Oh, yeah. Let me touch the mic. Let me put my lip and my saliva all over it, my fingerprints all over it, and then let me hit it. Yeah, this will work. Let me hit it. There we go. I'll hit it. Yep. There's this other officer over there. Oh, Terrell. He's right there. How do I do this? How do I steal the SD cards? He's looking at everyone that is watching, everyone that is filming. How do I get it?
Definitely not fireworks.
Wow. I know you guys can't see me. And I'm like, well, that's my brother-in-law will be mad because he won't be able to do good clips of this without seeing my face. But I wanted you guys to be able to see it well. All right. Let's see. Maybe I could do it like this. Yes. And I could take that off. There we go. That works. We could do that. Let's see. Hold up. Where did Butch Hibbs go? There he is. Butch Hibbs. Probably calling Jack Hibbs. Maybe calling Frank Turek in the car. Oh, all right. We got Philip Goldsberry behind the pole, right? We got Terrell Farnsworth stepping all over the scene. Philip and Terrell are destroying the crime scene. We have Chief Long right here, not worried at all that that's exactly where Charlie got taken out. And then we have Alan Robertson running the show, not worried at all either. Look at him. How do we do it? How do we do it? Oh my gosh. Look at him talking. So notice that Terrell Farnsworth covered his mouth. He's very aware that people are filming. He's talking. They're close. Philip is going like this. Okay. And Terrell is covering his mouth and they're talking right now. They're trying to figure out how to get the SD cards, how to get the camera. There. Yep. Points. I got to get it. I got to get it. How should I get it? He's like, I don't know, man. Maybe just grab the chair. Are you allowed to just grab the chair that Charlie was murdered on? And there we go. We got Alan Robertson was just texting someone again. There he is calling somebody. Who you calling there, buddy? Let's see. Oh, I can't go back or else it won't. Yeah, who you calling there, mister? Well, that's such a good photo of him. Wow. Let's go here. There he is. There he is. This is him. There he is. Boop, 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 boop. Alan Robertson. And let me see. Let me go back here. We're going to watch Philip Goldsberry Terrell Farnsworth is going to rip it off. Why aren't the cops worried about Terrell? Why aren't they worried about what he's doing? I just don't get it. Who are you calling, bro? Philip, who are you on the phone with, Philip?
Team is here.
Yep, just grab the chair. Here we go.
Charlie Kirk has been
Here we go. Crime of the century. Removing SD cards and cameras. Literally, Philip is standing where Charlie fell. Philip is standing where Charlie fell, began to bleed out more, where they didn't render any aid.
Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
So this is at 24 minutes and 28 seconds. Officer Bagley, I don't see up on the roof yet. I wonder who he's talking to. He's going to start making his way over to the roof because he gets up there when Officer Bagley gets up there. There's Chief Long walking around. That looks like Officer Bagley right there, actually. See the belly? That looks like Officer Bagley. He's about to probably make his way over to... So that's a lot of stuff that wasn't in his initial report, but it was on his testimony on the stand. Here we go. And of course, Adam Bartholomew moves the camera away during the entire destruction of the crime scene. Well, not the entire, but now the camera's gone. But we saw Terrell step down. He's going to hand it off now to Philip. He's going to hide it. Going really fast. None of the cops seem to worry. I don't know what they're guarding. They're acting like they're guarding the crime scene. Look at Terrell's looking around. Got to do this quick. Philip's like, this is sketch. Oh my gosh. Is this James Cadiz? Oh, you guys can't see it because I'm in the way. Hold on. Okay. Hold up. See this guy? You guys, James Cadiz is there walking on a cane. See? I'm just kidding. It's not James Cadiz, but it could be. It could be. No. Here you go, Philip. Put the SD card in his hat, put it in his little brim, and then walked away. There he is. Alan Robertson. It doesn't get much better than that.
Losey rooftop. Who could that be? Who is that, dear? Who? Oh, man in a plain clothes. Let's bring that closer, actually. Let's, yep. Officer Bagley, I think that might be you.
It sure is.
Because here you are, lower. We have a close-up of him down there wearing the hat and looks a little baldy on the side. Could be you, definitely, but we definitely can ID.
It is you.
The other guy. Let's show them on that rooftop again. Oh, bag with the red hat.
It's him.
Losey rooftop. So who is that guy in plain clothes on Losey with a bag and a backpack? Well, first and foremost, credit to Muppet Masher on X, who was able to identify the person. It is Officer Alan Robinson.
Yes. Robertson. Alan Robertson. And that guy, that chubby guy in the blue shirt that was holding his gun up here like this and like this, that is Christopher Haycock. Can't make it up. If you guys can do me a favor, we have like 448 people here. We have 166 likes. Can you guys do me a favor and just hit the like and the subscribe? Please. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Let's continue. I'm going to hop ahead here now because we...
presumably a nobody to our ever-growing list of people who are brand new because he had just joined the USU police force the summer before. Here is the announcement on Facebook. They announced it on Facebook that he had joined.
And so, yeah, we just keep adding people to the list of newbies on that day. It just can't get any better. It's insane. Or it can't get any worse, but it keeps getting worse every day. Thank you so much, Kay, for the 2 jewels. Thank you so much, Sarah Sue. How did Officer Bagley and other on the roof guy, Charlie Kirk, not see Tyler Robinson? Oh, let's see. Hold up. Let me show you something. There's no way that they didn't. I'll just point that out. There's just no way that they didn't. Give me a sec. Okay. Let's go here. I'm going to take that away. Take that away. There is just no way that he didn't. All right. I wonder if there's a way to make this bigger. It already is. That's as big as it gets. All right. We're going to zoom in. All right. Okay. So here's the Hall of Flags. Wait, let me go like this and go like this. All right. Let me see if I zoom. All right. So this is the Hall of Flags. All right. It was sectioned off like right about here to like way down here. And if I zoom out, I can't get completely horizontal. I don't think. No, I don't know how to. Yeah. Yeah. But look at this. Straight, literally straight across. This is the corner that he supposedly perched on right there. And even worse is way back here is the stairs that he would have climbed up, come over, and he ran. And notice there's no building like in that one video. And he ran out and then he zigged when he should have zagged. And then he zagged when he should have zigged, but then he ended up here. So another way we can see, we will go like this. Bing, 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 bing. Boom. You guys tell me. This is the quote unquote sniper's perch right here in this left-hand corner of the Losi Center roof. And Officer Bagley was right there. There's just no way. There's just no way. Okay, see my little cursor, my pink cursor? This is where Officer Bagley was, and that security team member. Okay, and right here is where Eagle Boy took a nap. Okay, and this is the stairs. He would have even seen him come up the stairs. Look at from all the way over here at the top of the screen, Officer Bagley. Stairs here at the bottom center of the screen, gets up, runs, and then runs, lays down, takes a nap, gets the message, gets up and runs, and then jumps off at this corner. Yep. Let's see where she continues. I already played that. We already showed those. Let's hear this.
Going to the Losi Center roof, and it is interesting that they get there and conveniently his body camera just stops running. He says the battery died, but the camera had only been running for 27 minutes, and these body cameras are supposed to last around 10 hours.
10:14.
Seems a little suspicious. You were already taking orders from him about the holster. You just didn't mention that throughout your testimony at all.
Nope.
Why are we seemingly providing coverage for a rookie from Terrell?
Yeah, well, let's see. Let me pull something up. Oh, okay. By the way, so couple things. Let's see what to say. I was in the Marine Corps, stationed at Camp Pendleton, 2005 to 2011. This guy, Alan Robertson, was stationed there 2009, 2014. Okay. He was a marksmanship instructor on the range in Edson Range. I actually know people that worked there during that time. And I'm going to be reaching out to them. In fact, I may even go talk to them when I'm visiting on my vacation to see my family. So we might be able to find out a little bit more about him. Okay. Range guys, within the same range definitely know each other. Okay. Especially at the same time. They just do. So buckle up. Stay tuned. But let me read my cursory search of information regarding Alan Robertson. Right. So Alan Robertson is, once you are, you always are, a U.S. Marine Corps veteran who served in the as an infantry rifleman and marksmanship instructor at the Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton, California, 2009, 2014. Service profile, primary role, infantry, rifleman, and then combat marksmanship instructor. Duty station, Camp Pendleton. He frequently operated out of specialized weapon ranges like Edson Range. Timeline, 2009, 2014. During this time frame, marksmanship instructors at Camp Pendleton were vital to maintaining. He did the rifle qualifications. Hold on, that's not specific to him. Let's see. Yeah, so education and training, public professional profiles indicate that after leaving the military in 2014, Alan Robertson pursued an Associates of Science in Fire Technology, but we know that he ends up getting hired in San Bernardino. He was discharged, and his DD 214 NJP to verify character service. No, honorable discharge, no NJPs, and I don't have this is all that it was on here. I copy and pasted way more than that. What the frick? That's not even the one that I wanted. Okay, here. Yeah, it is. It's on here. It just seems so much bigger. All right. So San Bernardino Police Department and the Brady list. Candace already explained the Brady list, but here I'll just read it. Public record safety tracking registries confirmed that Alan Robertson was employed as an officer with the San Bernardino Police Department. The disclosure, he was officially placed on the department's Brady list, also known as a Giglio list. A Brady listing means prosecutors are legally required to disclose to defense attorneys any history of official misconduct, dishonesty, public complaints, or policy violations that could undermine the officer's credibility as a witness in court. That is huge. That is massive, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know if Chief Long, Officer Bagley, and others there would have known this ahead of time, but I guarantee you they did know who he was after the fact. Okay. As like FBI gets there, State Bureau of Investigation gets there. These guys stay on scene until they get relieved. They all are. He was there. He witnessed it. He was one of the first responders, not like medic first responders, but like, police, plainclothes police first responders. He's got to give a testimony, a written testimony of like what he experienced, what he did, how he helped, what did he touch, who did he call? It's going to be confirmed who he is. They're going to look into his background and find out that he had a Brady list violation. He's on the Brady list in San Bernardino, which would anything that he touched, anything that he found, anything that he did in this investigation would be so questioned, basically thrown out. I am surprised, and I don't know why, if we could find out who Alan Robertson is, like Muppet and Niecy could find out, okay? How is it the defense couldn't find out who he was? So when people ask, do you think the defense is in on it? In moments like this, I do. In moments like this, I do. That would have been the perfect opportunity in the preliminary hearing to call into question the validity of the screwdriver. Who found it? Who was there? When Catherine Nestor is cross-examining Officer Bagley about his body cam, and she questions him about the gentleman, Alan Robertson, it could be a rhetorical question, lets him answer, I don't know, and then go, oh, well, it just so happens here, we do know who he is. Do you know that guy in the red hat and the blue shirt is Officer Alan Robertson, who, while his time at San Bernardino, was placed on the Brady list for violations? What was that again? What did it say? Yeah, he was officially placed on the department's Brady list, also known as the Giglio list. A Brady listing means prosecutors are legally required. So that means the prosecution would have been legally required to tell the defense that this guy was there when they found the screwdriver. The fact that they didn't identify him maybe is a way they're getting out of that, right? They didn't list him on documentation. But now in the testimony, it came out. And hopefully the defense is going to get there. But I don't know if the prosecution is going to get out of it by saying, oh, we honestly didn't know who he was. So it's not a violation that we didn't disclose it. We never asked him to identify himself, which, I mean, that could raise a whole nother slew of issues for them. That this gentleman was there when Officer Bagley turned off his body cam. Right after that, they found the screwdriver, which is the only piece of physical evidence that places Tyler Robinson on the roof. Think about that. Remember when Catherine Nestor was cross-examining Officer Bagley, and I think it was also true with Investigator Hull. Did you go back and look at the surveillance footage from the moment that Eagle Boy jumped off the roof to the moment Officer Bagley and Alan Robertson made it onto the roof? Did you look at that time frame? No, he didn't. Why would she ask that? Did anyone else go on the roof in that period of time and drop a screwdriver? They just lack the curiousness to do a thorough investigation to find out if anyone else was up there before they got up there. I mean, that would just be the natural thing to do, would be to rewind the surveillance footage like the whole day. Maybe even the day before. Maybe someone came in the middle of the night and placed something up there. I might even have someone go back the past 3-4 days and just stare at the Losi Center rooftop and just watch it. You could watch it in fast forward. You know, you could watch it in like 6 times speed, and just the moment someone jumps up, you pause. And then I would follow it after the fact too, until the moment Officer Bagley and Alan Robertson get up there to determine if that screwdriver could actually be, from Eagle Boy. But here's the thing though, in Eagle Boy's surveillance footage, we don't see him drop anything. Somebody said they think they saw him drop something in the corner of the roof as he jumps off. I've looked at it so many times. It looks like a shadow because, it's 12 o'clock. So the sun is pretty much above, right? And as he bends down to lower himself down, his body gets closer to the roof, right? And it casts a shadow right there underneath him. Because what you don't see is this black thing remain there after he climbs down. So I don't see that he left anything on the corner of the roof. And that's not where they said they found the screwdriver anyway. They said they found it over on the other side. So, what are you going to do? Oh, okay, I did want to say this. Officer Bagley, all the issues with the Adam Bartholomew video, watching the security team members destroy the crime scene, tamper with the crime scene, remove things, pick pieces of evidence up, put things in their pockets, kicking the grass, Terrell Farnsworth, Philip Goldsberry stepping on the area, contaminating the crime scene, manipulating the crime scene, moving Charlie's chair, stepping in the pool of blood where most of the blood came out. Removing the SD card, removing the cameras. Literally, anyone that tries to tell you you're stupid and you're evil for not believing the official FedSlop narrative, immediately, I don't trust people like that. I am seriously concerned about their intelligence. Maybe if they don't know enough about this, I can let it go with ignorance. But if I find out that they're listening to Graham and they're listening to Andrew Kolvet and they're getting their FedSlop news from Gary Melton, no more. Ignorance is not an adequate defense for your stupidity. Now you're stupid and probably corrupt and evil too. Because guess what? Yes, I listen to Barron and Candace and other people, but I've also gone and done my own due diligence, watching video after video after video, looking up people, places, and things regarding this day, this assassination, this investigation. I don't rely on everything from other people. I look it down for myself, come to my own informed conclusions. And so, yeah, I mean, like the title of the video says, it's we're screwed. I mean, I don't mean to be an alarmist. I'm just saying a lot of these people, whether they be in high political positions, they're trying to be in a political position, like Larry Loomer wants to freaking replace Lindsey Graham. Okay. We have the politicians that are there right now that are stupid and corrupt and evil. People within police force, the FBI, CIA, intelligences, places in government, institutions that have a lot of power. It just, not all, obviously. You can't just make can't paint it with a wide brush. Everyone's not bad. But why does it seem that everyone involved in this case everyone that's involved in this case in Utah, in positions in the federal government, people that remain there, obviously Joe Kent left. He's not evil. He's a good one. But it does not give me much hope in the system that we have. It really doesn't. Doesn't give me hope in safety either. We're all just one tragic incident away of being framed. Obviously, not to the same degree as Lance Twiggs and, Tyler Robinson. They obviously probably were engaged in things that was able to be used against them to blackmail them, threaten them, manipulate them to get them to do things that they wouldn't normally do. So first off, start there. Don't do any of the things that those kids did. But aside from that, man, what a dangerous state we're in right now with these people. All right, let's hop over here.
Let's dig into Officer Bagley. Bagley is terrible. The very first day of his testimony, and I got on the air and I said, this guy sucks.
He does.
He sucks.
He does.
His descriptions, his memory, his lack thereof is awful. I don't know how they're going to try this case without him.
They can't.
But I know they want to. I can assure you they want to.
Yeah, they do.
I know right now the prosecution's looking around going, how can we get rid of Bagley? If they could get rid of Bagley and Twiggs, and they could somehow get all that evidence without those two, they would be in much better shape. But they can't. They can't. Bagley, I think, is going to be a problem for them because Bagley's low IQ. Bagley's not very smart. He's basically a bumbling fool.
Yeah, he is.
And we'll show you an example of it. First, who is Officer Bagley? Let's take a quick look here of the Bagman.
The Bagman.
Here is Officer Bagley. Charles McClintock Wilson was kind enough to look up while he was at the event and see Officer Bagley up here overseeing the festivities, perched precariously on top of the Hall of Flags. Ironically enough, Bagley's the one guy who is in a position to be able to see the rooftop of the
That's not true. There's two. There's a security guy up there too. So let's go to, what is it? Charles McClintock Wilson, Charlie Kirk, photos. All right. Sorry, I'm going to have to pull it up before I share to the screen because he does have ones that are graphic and I can't share those. Okay. So let me get there. I think it's going to be maybe this one. Let's see. Hold on. I got to scroll through it first before I share it to the screen. I'm going fast, I promise. I mean, some of these are good just to look at. I don't know if you guys have seen. Wait, I got to make sure none of them have blood on them. Yeah, none of them do. I don't know if you guys have seen these before. Let's go here. Let me share the screen. Okay. But we got Brian Harple, obviously Charlie Kirk. You see the necklace around his neck. He's wearing it. It's like a polyester shirt. Frank Turek is back here in the white shirt and his old man arm. Mikey McCoy looking very suspicious. And Dan Flood does look like the guy that was on Mitch Snow's Ring doorbell footage camera. You see Charlie's nipple? He wasn't wearing body armor. Okay? Wasn't wearing body armor. Yep. And you can even see the cross is like right there. Okay. Why is Mikey? They all look very sus right now. Charlie's the only one that doesn't look sus. They all look like they're about to do something. They look like they have a lot on their mind. Like a lot's going on. And there's Butch Hibbs. We got Camping Santa Claus. And we got Frank Turk's arm over there. Oh, it's so sad. I think this guy's Justin is his name. I don't know what this guy's name is. He's another security team member. Yeah. Oh, Phil Lyman got a meet and greet. Yeah, sure did. That's not sus. I bet Jeb Jacoby is over there. Yeah, there he is. Jeb Jacoby. There he is. Hold on. Let me back out because I got to share. I got to double check before I share the next set, because I got to make sure that they're not bad. Hold up. And if you guys want to go see these video photos, you can go to Charles McClintock Wilson on Google, and then click, or you can Google Charlie Kirk as well. Charles McClintock Wilson, Charlie Kirk. I've never seen that one. That's like right away. Hold on. I wonder how quickly after the shot this happened, because you can see the Losi Center roof up there. And everyone's just ducking still, just now about to run. So I gotta take it off while I look, because there's some graphic ones in here, or they have a gun. All right, it's not even this folder. Hold on. That means it's this one. Here we go. Okay. So this is not Officer Bagley, but this is on top of the Hall of Flags, right? Let me see. I don't know his name. I can't see it on his badge, but oh, it's Kim, Officer Kim. Okay. That's not Officer Bagley. Don't know his name, but he's up there for a little bit as well on the roof. Can't tell if that's an officer or a security guard behind him. Okay, Chief Long is here. He's there. This is on top of the Hall of Flags, and they're sectioning off that area. Okay, making sure, and they're moving all the students. There's Officer Bagley. All right. I saw another photo somewhere that shows the actual security team member that's up there with them. Let me scroll further down and see if I can see it before I pull it up on the screen. No. This is also interesting, though. I was like going through these to see if I could see in the background, because this is while Charlie's still alive. He's throwing out hats. Okay, if I could see anyone. It's obviously blurry up there, but that's the Losi Center roof. This is the Sorensen roof. But I don't see anything up there at all. The guy, Eagle Boy, was about to be up there right at that moment, as Charlie was about to sit down and start engaging with, what was that first kid's name? I always forget it on camera, but like I remember it later. Not Hunter Kozak, the guy that was before him. And it was like all about LDS, polygamy, Joseph Smith. I forget it. I forget what his name was. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. Look who we found. We got Jeb Jacoby right here. Crisis actor. We got Philip Goldsberry talking to this guy. I forget what this guy's name is, but I know he's sus. People have looked into him. This guy in the glasses, he's sus for sure. I'm surprised in any of these Charles McClintock Wilson photos, we never see Tyler Robinson come down and talk to anyone like supposedly happened. You know, supposedly Tyler Robinson came down and engaged with members of TPUSA. But yeah, we never see it. Yeah. Well, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else before I click off of this. So you guys want to know who the possible culprits were throwing stuff down on the tent that got booted off? Because this is right above. They're looking down. This is before it got blocked off and no one was allowed up there. So it's just my deduction that some of these people were the ones throwing things down on the tent. because those are the only ones that I ever see up there before they block it off. But all right. I can't find the other one. I don't think it's one of these. Let's continue with Barron.
Losi Center. He's probably the only guy in the facility who has a really good look at the rooftop of the Losi Center. But he didn't take advantage of that. I don't know where he was looking at the moment of the guy is up there for like 10 minutes walking.
So there is verification. There was a security team member up there, okay, from Brian Harple's team. It wasn't just Officer Bagley. There were 2 guys up there.
Around, allegedly assembling stuff. He's army crawling to the edge. He's perched precariously over the ledge of the Losi Center. I don't know what Bagley's looking at this moment. He's got a Bluetooth speaker in his ear. Maybe he's listening to Huey Lewis in the news.
Actually, I found it. So in the Adam Bartholomew Life is Driving video, Officer Bagley's right here. And as of right now, I think that is Chief Long. But I can go, I'm going to keep scrolling and find the part where it's just Officer Bagley and the security team member that are up there.
I don't know. Is he walking on the thin line kind of guy, or is he like, I need a new drug kind of guy? I don't know which Huey Lewis song is his favorite, but he's got a Bluetooth speaker in his ear. You know, I prefer my officers to be attentive, to understand the lay of the land, to know what's going on in the world. I would much rather them be watching Charlie Kirk or the crowd or the rooftops. But he's listening to Huey Lewis and the news. Almost assuredly, he's listening to Huey Lewis and the news. I can't think of anybody else.
Oh, he's going to start singing in a second. I'm going to keep you. You don't have to hear that. It's all good. It was a great song, but so this can show you, see this big space in between. They pushed all these kids down here. They pushed all these kids down here and they blocked it off. Okay. And it's a little far away. I'm going to keep trying to find the footage of the security member and Officer Bagley.
All right, your body cam footage that I reviewed appears to end while you're still on the roof. Do you know why that is?
I think the battery went dead. It was just right at that.
What a liar.
Okay. And do you know, did you ever turn it back on that day or go get it? I don't know. What do you have to do? Charge it or stick a new battery in it? I don't even know.
Usually dock it, but no, I didn't go back. It was too chaotic running around.
So that 27.
Okay, she's a seasoned defense attorney. She knows darn well everything about these body cams. She has tried too many cases where body cams are part of the investigation, part of, the prosecution's case. There's just no way that she doesn't know what the body cams do. Gosh, people got to stop texting me while I'm live. It's so crazy. All right, let's continue. Let's see. All right, that's about it for there. But I'm going to let it play for a second because I want to hear the rest of this while I try to find this piece of footage.
35-second body cam that starts when you're at the Hall of Flags and ends while you're still on the roof, but haven't put the crime tape up yet. That's the only body cam you have that day.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a timeline. 27 minutes and 35 seconds. I was mistaken in giving Officer Bagley the benefit of the doubt that he was recording his whole shift.
No,
he was not.
27 minutes.
27 minutes and 35 seconds isn't very long.
Yeah, and it's not a continuous recording. It's when they get engaged in a call of service. If they are engaging with a civilian and they come upon a call that they're not dispatched to, like these cops are already on scene. They didn't get a call. They're there. They engage the moment the big bang went off is when he should have turned it on.
Especially when you consider how long it took him to get to the roof in the first place. The big bang happened around 12:23 or 12:24.
All right, so I will correct myself. That looks like Officer Bagley and the security member, because I remember he was in khaki pants. while they're up there. And yeah, the caution tape's already up. So this person must be part of TPUSA. I wonder if that's who Frank Turk is talking about. I wonder if he's gone back through this video and was like, oh, that's what it is. It wasn't a drone footage. He finds out because she's inside the caution tape. It wasn't just like over here because Charlie's tent is way over here. So it's caution taped way over there. So this is someone on TPUSA's team getting footage. I don't believe that that's who sent the footage to Mikey McCoy and Frank Turk and Charlie Kirk. I believe it was drone footage because I don't think you can mistake drone footage for phone footage. But that's just me.
If you calculate what time he got to the roof, the testimony is that he got to the roof at 12:44. So let's do a little math backwards. Let's assume it died the second he got on the roof. 27 minutes and 35 seconds before that.
Yeah, pretty much I've already covered this. All right. So there's just no way, right? There's time that the timeline is not matching, right? He either started it too late. He, didn't go. It doesn't match his written testimony and the testimony that he gave on the stand. So this is what we continually run into in this case against Tyler Robinson. There is insufficient, credible, verified evidence that has been properly, what is it called? Chain of custody, that has proper chain of custody. With every single piece of evidence that we've seen, they've edited the Losi Center rooftop video. Instead of just, why can't they just release? It's 180 degrees. It goes from there to there. They should just show the unedited, not zoomed in, of Eagle Boy climbing up over the stairs, climbing up over the railing, running out, laying down, taking a nap, running, jumping off, running across the street. The white SUV follows, and then he meets up. Stu Peters says, you can trust him, and I do, that he meets up with some gentlemen over there. And I wonder if they hop in that SUV and take off. I wonder if those gentlemen over there, they were there to plant the rifle while Eagle Boy was just there to be on the roof to be caught on the surveillance camera. There's no need for him to bring the rifle on the roof. There's no need. That's an extra layer of that overly complicates it. They would know how bad the quality of the video is. He doesn't need anything. He just needs something in his hand that he could hold like this, the towel, the blanket. And now look at what we've done 10 months later. And we're like, oh, well, not me, not us. Other people are like, there could be a gun under there. I don't not see a gun. He does have an object in his hand. I just can't with some people acting like they're trying to be objective. Do you see anything that could be a gun? No, you see a blanket. You see a tarp, a towel. The gun that they say he has is like 45 to 49 inches. Okay. And you would either see the barrel sticking out the top, the buttstock sticking down below, even if he's holding it straight like this, right? Like silent drill. And he's holding it just like that. It'd be sticking up. If he's holding it across his body like he's running, okay, if he's holding it straight across like this, it's sticking out both ends. There's literally, and even if he's holding it like down here and he's trying to conceal it with the front of his body, you'll see it through his legs, the buttstock. There's like no way that you could fully conceal a massive long rifle like that. He runs, he's cutting different angles. He's running out to the right, then he zigs and he goes to the left. Then he's like holding it, supposedly holding it with one hand as he does that lateral crawl. And then he's like going to low crawl, get out to the perch and lay down. You don't see him bring the rifle up and ready. You don't see it hanging out the end. Not to mention, he doesn't even get to the end of the roof. He can't even get the proper angle down to take the shot. He's set too far back and too far from the side. Charlie's like down in a ravine. This whole case, this entire thing is built on lies. You know, it's built on lies. But if you guys know Four Christmases, Erica, that's probably her favorite movie. She likes to tell everyone that TPUSA is like a family, right? You can't spell families without lies. That's Erica Kirk. You can't spell families without lies. Okay? So it's all built on lies. And Erica would have you believe that by day 11, after the assassination, she has seen all the evidence. She's, read the autopsy. And she is so convinced that Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman that murdered her husband that she can get up in front of hundreds of thousands in person and millions online and say confidently, that man, I forgive him. She could get up on Barry Weiss. So do you think that he did it? Yes, I do. Oh, okay. Why? Well, I've seen it all. I've seen the case. The prosecution has let me all the way in. I'm like on the team. I'm their secret weapon. My lawyers and their lawyers have been, mingling and communicating and assisting one another. I've seen it all. She's 100% positive in December. I mean, she was already 100% positive on that at the memorial. Know this, that forgiveness BS was not for Tyler, was not for her, was not for her relationship with God, as she would have people believe, so that she doesn't let the devil have a foothold in her with bitterness and anger. That moment where she forgave Tyler was for all of us, because none of us knew her yet, right? And still a good majority believe her. That's crazy. That's insane. I don't know what to do with that. Let me read this real quick. For the mod overtime fun. All right, thank you. Wait, I didn't read your name. Amber is alert. That's good. You want to be alert. All right. I don't see. Yeah, he's still up there. I'll show you this. And that person is still up there on the roof. So, hold up. Let me get rid of that. Here and here. So there's definitely two people up there. Let's see if I could see in the reflection. No. Hold up. Officer Bagley's still there. Oh, wow. That's the Losi Center roof right there. That's the corner. Yeah. And then this is the Sorensen Center roof corner. Oh, wait, hold on. There it is. Huh. That means this building way back here would have had a way better view. Let's go to that. Holy smokes. That is right here. Right here. This is the computer science building. Interesting. Look at that. It's a lot farther. Still totally doable shot for an experienced sniper. Way back here. Okay. Do you see my little cursor? Yeah. Right here. And shoots all the way. Total line of sight. Okay, total line of sight right here, all the way down. Not that Charlie was shot with a bullet, but I'm just saying. And this is where he jumps off and runs across the street. All right, let's continue. All right, let's move on to the next thing. All right, that's the part of the show that I added on due to what was being covered on Candace Owens and Baron Coleman today. Now we're getting to the meat and potatoes of my show. I had to just, man, it's just so much was on my brain watching them today. And if you guys remember when Elizabeth Lane went on with Tucker Carlson, she mapped out that there's this like Ukrainian company, right? They're paying for bots. They're paying people like Laura Loomer, like Gary Melton. And she says she's got proof of it, right? And she's got a Zoom call that I'm pretty sure was Valhalla VFT that was offered to be part of it. And he said, no, that's who like used to work with Gary before he flipped sides. That Ukraine is a massive part of this. Okay. Now we have all these individuals, whether that's like Jeremy Boring, Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer, and we have Graham Allen that's attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. All these people are simultaneously saying like they're the answer. And, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent are the enemy. True patriots and America firsters, America onlys, America first and last always, with never Trumpers that infiltrated and are selling themselves as the solution to the problem. It's just insane. Let's get to it. Laura Loomer went and interviewed Zelensky in Ukraine. Okay. And she just did an interview on like Newsmax or News Nation. Buckle up, guys. It's going to be crazy.
And was laid to rest this week in a funeral attended by leaders from across the globe, including Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, both of whom also met with President Trump in the Oval Office. Graham was a huge supporter of both Israel and Ukraine, providing a counterweight to the rising isolationist wing of the GOP. Who will play that role now that Graham has passed on? One of the president's most controversial supporters wants the job, Laura Loomer, a loyal MAGA activist who has long had the ear of the president. Last week, Loomer made a pilgrimage to Ukraine after years of bashing the country. Loomer says she fell victim to a Russian propaganda campaign and went to see the truth for herself. She also interviewed Zelensky, and the president himself shared clips of the interview on social media.
I've come to realize that I was bamboozled by Russian propaganda, and I came to believe a lot of untrue things about Ukraine. I used to think that this was a country full of Nazis. I'm just trying.
Keep in mind, Candace goes to Russia, gets labeled a Russian, agent. Tucker interviews Vladimir Putin, gets labeled a Russian agent. Also, they get labeled like they're working for Qatar. With like Hamas and Iran, while these people that actually like all attacked Trump before he was elected this time around, whether that's like Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer, they hated Trump. Then this split happened and they realized, this is a perfect opportunity.
What does Loomer's trip to Ukraine and her desire to carry on Graham's legacy mean for the future of the Republican Party? Here with me now is the woman herself, Laura Loomer. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me right after this trip. So how did the trip to Ukraine come about and who funded it?
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me on, Batya. It's a pleasure to join you. For the last year and a half or so, I've become increasingly concerned about a lot of the rhetoric and a lot of the isolationist foreign policy views that have been coming out of some of the top podcasters on the right. And as you know, and you've been very critical of this on your own show, these aren't just podcasters or people with opinions that they're shouting into a microphone. Some of these people enjoy access to the White House. Some of them are friends with the vice president. Some of these people had family members working inside the White House as they were pushing anti-American propaganda.
Why can't she just say it? She's talking about Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Joe Kent, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, right? Why is it that these people are now attacking them and saying that like we all together pose a threat to democracy? Well, because we are, with them at the helm and leading the charge, we do pose a threat to their stranglehold on our country. Notice that this lady's got, you know, the Megatron star around her neck, right? The star of Remfan, not even trying to hide it at all. I mean, should we be surprised that that is who is interviewing Laura Loomer? Crazy. News Nation. Is it interesting that the colors are the same as Israel here? White and blue, baby blue.
Isolationist foreign policy, support for Islamic terrorist organizations like Hamas, and have really been on a full-blown crusade to degrade and absolutely destroy our alliances with longstanding allies to the United States of America, particularly Israel. And I became increasingly alarmed over the last year and a half with the behavior of what I like to call the woke Reich. Now, you know, your viewers are probably...
You know who coined that term? Benjamin Netanyahu. So I wonder who she's getting her talking points from. Look at, she's smiling. That's our fearless leader. Our fearless leader said that.
Very familiar with who these people are. People like Tucker Carlson, as I call him, people like Candace Owens and Alex Jones. I mean, look, there's a lot of people who all of a sudden, you know, it seems like their views on President Trump have drastically changed. And they went from being ardent supporters of the president to then all of a sudden pushing out what seems like very radical left talking points.
Hold up. Yeah, we did support him when you didn't. Okay. He promised us. Those are called campaign promises, him and JD Vance. Literally everything the opposite of what he's done since he's been in. And so what? Like, we're supposed to just eat the slop and go, thank you. Can I have another? At what point are we allowed to have valid criticisms and issues with those that we voted in because they promised to do certain things and they promised to not do other things, like not go to war? Like, when are we allowed to be not happy with them?
As it pertains to, you know, the functioning of our country, both domestically and with relations to, you know, foreign affairs. And so I started to really evaluate the content that I was consuming as a conservative in this media ecosystem, not just as somebody with a podcast myself, but also as somebody who, you know, considers myself to be a political operative, in addition to, you know, breaking a lot of stories as an independent journalist, Batya. And I realized, wow, if all of these conservative commentators have been wrong about, you know, Jeffrey Epstein lying, saying that Donald Trump is a pedophile, that he's covering up for Jeffrey Epstein, if they've been wrong about Israel and, you know, pushing out all of their anti-Jewish, and I call it anti-Jewish because it's far transcended just simple criticism or disagreements with Israeli foreign policy, right? This is just pure Jew hatred at this point.
So insane. So insane. This is like on the level of like Benny Johnson, Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec, Brandon Tatum getting up there and just blatantly lying to all of us. Dude, we saw the video, 4K, high def. You could see him pull the trigger. You could see his face. You could see the muzzle flash. You could see the recoil, just blatantly lying, only to then backpedal over the next, you know, the weeks that followed. Well, really what you see is you see him lay down and then you see the timestamp and you know that's when Charlie was taken out and you see him laying there and then he gets up and runs right after that moment. So you just deduce that he's the one that did it. Laura freaking Loomer. Holy, what a goober. Clearly, Trump is in the files. Okay, clearly. Clearly, his buddy old pals are all up in the files. There's no honest explanation as to the complete about face that this administration has done. You know, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi, you know, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, JD Vance, Donald Trump. Promising us accountability, justice, transparency, specifically on this issue. Don't forget, Pam Bondi asked Jack Posobiec to come to the White House, gave him an empty binder saying, here's the list. He holds it up like he's got it, only to come out and it's empty. Like, man, at what point do we get so fed up that we do something about it? You know?
If they're now supporting Islamic terrorist organizations and cheering for Iran over the United States as they're murdering U.S. soldiers, what?
No, we're actually wanting us to pull out of Iran, because we're there for Israel. Let's listen to Charlie Kirk. Okay, this is a beautiful montage. Oh, hold on.
Absolute moron. I hate everything about him. I know hate is a very strong word, but Charlie spent his entire life trying to elect the very people into power who are allowing this farce to go on.
Yep.
And we know that Charlie was the first casualty of the Iranian war. He was in the way. He was in the way. And now we have his organization telling us they don't know. Actually, Blake, I think, said Charlie would support Trump with the Iran war. He would support him. Okay. Erica said, he's not here to tell us what he would think. All we have are old clips. And you know what? She was right about that. We do have old clips. I saw some of this going around on Instagram.
We have some new ones too.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, my husband isn't here to say whether or not we should be at war with Iran. I would love for him to be here right now and tell us if we should or should not. I would love it. I miss his voice more than anyone in this world.
No one believes you, Erica. Like, nobody believes you. We're going to get to the whole clip, but the montage. I even played Charlie Kirk in June, July, and August on like Thought Crime on the Charlie Kirk show with Blake Neff, Andrew Kolvet, Jack Posobiec. Who else was there? Tyler Boyer was there. They all were saying no war with Iran, no boots on the ground. They didn't even want the strikes of the nuclear facilities. But because that decision was made anyway, he's like, fine, I guess I have to just trust them. I'll just trust them that that's it. But then he goes on to say, if that's not it, we should all be very worried at who's really running this country. Because Trump and JD promised all of us that this wouldn't happen. Now he's promising me that just the nuclear sites, that's it, limited. We'll trust him. But if anything else continues further, we all should be very, very concerned.
You know, it's frustrating when you have people speaking for him. I have a sentiment for that.
Like you.
But thank the good Lord that we have a bunch of his videos that we can look back on.
Sure do.
But I can say concretely, here's where I stand. We do not want U.S. boots on the ground. We do not want American kinetic involvement.
Make sure we don't go to war against Iran, which would be a profound mistake for our country. So that's a really, really important thing.
It's pathologically insane. I'm sorry. Yeah. It is.
I don't think we should bomb Iranian nuclear facilities. I just don't.
My whole life, I've been told that Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a nuclear bomb. Yet here in 2025, they do not have a nuclear bomb. So why should we trust the American intelligence without verifying it? This is Israel's war. The worst possible case scenario is Iran says, okay, you humiliated us. You killed all of our leaders. We're going to go make this a regional mess and try to get as many people involved as possible.
And I think it's long past time that our leaders would start to prioritize the well-being of our own citizens, not those of foreign nations.
This is more Israel pushing for Iran. But is that America's problem? That's a question. I mean, maybe the answer is yes. Maybe the answer is, you know what? They were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Syria. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about the Taliban. They were wrong about Libya. They were wrong about the Arab Spring. They were wrong about Yemen. They were wrong about the Arabian Peninsula. They were wrong about the 9/11 hijackers being Saudi Arabian. But hey, 10th time's a charm. This time we're actually right.
Yeah, I think he was pretty clear on what he thought about war with Iran. Pathologically insane is exactly what it is. Pathologically insane to accept this narrative of Charlie's assassination being done at the hands of a trans furry who it turns out is not trans. And they can't even prove was on campus that day.
Yeah, watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Hold up. Give me a sec. Let me pull it up. Not that. Not that. There it is. Let me back it up.
I would love to disrupt your meeting.
Do you think I fear people that think they're women or think they're men?
I do think that your rhetoric is transphobic, and I think it's harmful to trans people. And I think that you should fuck off and get off campus.
Oh, okay. So I should be silenced, not allowed to speak. Is that what you do when people prove you wrong? You kick them off campus?
No, I don't think that there should be any like university sanctioned thing that says Charlie Kirk can't be here. But
Oh,
if
okay.
students are able to organize against you and kick your ass off campus, that'd be awesome.
Oh, okay. You could tell a lot by who's willing to have a conversation and who's not willing. Usually the people that are the ones protesting and not talking are on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, just look at the civil rights movement.
One of your cronies.
One of my cronies.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's a good way to describe our wonderful student group here. I wish you the very best, that you live a free life. You have the right to be wrong. So, and I'm a piece of
Yeah.
Okay. Why am I a piece of
I just told you, man, you're a trans.
Oh, I'm transphobic, right.
The part that was important to me, well, the whole thing just to see how Charlie handles himself is amazing. But watch.
I would love to disrupt your meeting.
Do you think I fear people that think they're women or think they're men?
I do think.
Nope. I don't think you were afraid of the left. Okay. So go reference that tweet. I mean, that text that Erica lied about, said didn't exist, and then was, released and proved that it did exist. And she goes, and Andrew and all of them, oh, they, yeah, we know they, trans furries, that's who Charlie was afraid of. We have so many clips of Charlie saying, dude, I was not afraid of those people. That's not who I was afraid of. Rich, powerful people with means, motive, and opportunity, with a track history of assassinating people. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I'd be a little bit concerned. Oh, you mean that they gave Trump a golden pager as kind of like you could be next. This could be you. One mistake away from your own pager. Always be true. What is a Jew? Ethnicity or religion. Abraham and his descendants were from modern day Iraq. And 10 tribes vanished and 4 tribes were from slave women. Were they Jews? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's a debate that is ongoing, especially with Benjamin Netanyahu and previous prime ministers and those that are actually running the show out there. Yeah. They're not religiously Jewish because they're not practicing, Jews. They claim to be ethnically Jewish, but it looks like they're from, Eastern European descent. So, yeah, there's that. Laura freaking Goober.
What else are these people wrong about? And I realized that, out of the top 5 topics that a lot of these people talk about, the Russia-Ukraine war tops that top 5 list. And I started thinking to myself, wow, it's not a coincidence that RT and Al Jazeera and you look at a lot of these foreign state media entities that exist to prop up these authoritarian regimes in Russia and Qatar have become full-time Clipper accounts for the woke Reich. And then it made me realize I'm not going to have a proper understanding about what's really happening on the ground in Ukraine and who's right and who's wrong amid this, echo chamber of propaganda, specifically Russian propaganda, unless I travel to Ukraine myself. And so I paid for my travel, and the security was supplemented by some private American donors, and it was not paid for by the government of Ukraine. It was not facilitated by the United States State Department or the Trump administration, despite wild conspiracy theories online. It was not funded by any Ukrainian nationals or the Ukrainian government. But I'm back, and I was out of the country for 11 days, and it was truly a life-changing trip for me. I really have come to understand that everything that I was led to believe while living in this echo chamber, really an echo chamber, very toxic echo chamber that is supported by foreign governments. I mean, we can't deny the influence of Russian propaganda in the GOP.
Remember what I said yesterday? The thing that they are guilty of, or plural, the things that they are all guilty of themselves, they accuse all of us. Okay, so the thing that like Brandon Tatum, Graham Allen, Jack Posobiec, Benny Johnson, Laura Loomer, Glenn Beck, Ali Beth Stuckey, Alex Clark, Andrew Kolvet, Blake Neff, Tyler Boyer, being paid by a foreign government, doing the bidding of a foreign country that they claim, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, Joe Kent, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens, and, sometimes they throw Megyn Kelly in there too. They accuse them and all of us because we watch and follow them. We're all lumped in that. They are the ones that are doing those things themselves. Some of the worst people in the world.
And the amount of brainwashing that is taking place on these social media platforms because American social media companies refuse to comply with sanctions law, and they refuse to limit the tweets and the correspondences and the broadcasting of these entities that have been sanctioned.
Now, Laura, you have the president's ear. You spoke to him since you've been back. He was retweeting clips from your interviews. Did you draw this connection for him between the sort of Tucker Carlson isolationist wing and Russia and Iran and pro-Islamism and terrorism and being anti-Trump? Does he understand that network that you're describing to us?
Well, look, Batya, this has been a work in progress. Obviously, the president's very busy, and so I didn't have a very long and drawn-out conversation with him about this. He knew that I went to...
The fact that Laura freaking Gooberstein is interviewing Zelensky, is advising Trump, maybe even tweeting for him, who freaking knows? That is the state of our nation. Holy smokes. Laura freaking Jigsaw Goomer is advising Trump. At the very least, she has his ear. Which ear? Does she have this one? Does she have the one that got clipped off and then it magically grew back in a matter of days? If anyone is watching all of this, like our adversaries, true, or even just like our equals, China, Russia, wherever, and they're watching and they're like, I think the U.S. is done. I think we're good. I don't even think we need to worry about the U.S. They seem to be self-destructing right now. Did you see who has the president's ear? Freaking Jigsaw. No, like the real clown from Saw. Yes, you didn't see it? She's out there. She just interviewed Zelensky. Yes, she just said that she talks to Trump. She's telling him what to do. I can't see that and go like, they're like, oh, wow, he has good counsel around him. You are the friends you keep. You are only as good as those around you, giving you advice, information. And Laura freaking Loomer is got the ear and the confidant of Trump. What is going on with this world? We do live in the upside down. Okay. Thank you so much, Deanne, for the 2 jewels. Appreciate it. Zamet, you gave one of the I should pull it up. I don't know at what part. Candace Owens read one of your comments today at the end of the show. I think it was one of the bigger comments from from Friday's Thursday. When was the last time Candace was on? Yesterday was Sunday. So Friday or Thursday, I forget which day was her last day. But she read one of your tweets. You're like kind of famous, Zamet, and you're one of our regs. And so it's like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, Zamet, here we go. I get it. If I'm pro-America, I'm a Putin stooge. That's what it comes down to now. I'm okay with that, though. I don't know anything that Putin ever did or Russia ever did to us that was proven that they did. Everything from during the whole freaking Cold War to now seems to be one giant propaganda lie, right? If you ever listen to, what was it, like that report, something for the next American century, and then also, what's his name? Werner von Braun told Carol Rawson, his like number one like secretary, assistant, that the United States and the military-industrial complex always has to have an enemy, whether it's like kinetic or static. We must always have an enemy being sold to us to justify to Congress and, the administration at the time to allocate money for the military budget to build up our supply, our weapons. We need new machinery. We need to send, satellites to space with lasers. Space wars. Oh no, it's Russia. We got to get in an arms race with Russia for nukes. Right now, we're in an arms race with China for AI. We got to beat them. They're going to destroy us. It's like the same playbook, and I can't believe people don't see it. I can't believe people haven't like fully woken up and just been like, wait, you guys did this before. You guys did this with our parents. We never ended up at war with Russia. I know that we like almost did, but I believe that was our intel agencies trying to get us to go to war because they knew JFK was pro-Russia. He wanted to denuclearize. He wanted us to get rid of all of our nukes, and everyone should get rid of all their nukes. He wanted to break down the wall and partner and have a joint, space, organization with Russia and go to the moon with Russia. Colonize space. He thought that the two big powers could work together. Yeah, you can't justify a forever enemy, a forever threat. If that were to happen, that would ruin their long-term plans. They take out JFK. Russia's still the enemy. And then the other steps in that, for the next American century, whatever it's called, that paper that was written. And then even Werner von Braun said it, that like first it's gonna be 7 countries in the Middle East, like bam, 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 bam. Literally, that's what's happened. The playbook literally played out in front of our eyes. How is everyone not awake yet?
Ukraine. I told him that I interviewed President Zelensky. He complimented me on my interview. The president was very gracious to take my calls. I spoke to him twice when I was in Ukraine, and he shared the interview that I conducted. And as you said in your intro, he shared several clips, including the full link to the interview. And I'm grateful for that. It's not a secret. I've admitted this publicly. I prepared a dossier for the website, for the White House several months ago. Really, over the last year, I've prepared several very detailed reports on some of these woke right.
Laura Loomer, a civilian, supposedly, compiled a dossier, very detailed reports on Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey, and maybe Megyn Kelly. Don't know. And Joe Kent, maybe too. Freaking Laura Loomer.
Personalities and the propaganda and the anti-Trump rhetoric that they have been pushing out to their audiences. And unfortunately, because of their foreign propaganda and their incessant Trump hatred and their obsession with blaming Jews and blaming all of the world's issues on Donald Trump and Israel, so many people have been radicalized in the GOP. And so I've really made it a point to stress this to the White House. I'm proud that, this resulted in President Trump finally condemning Tucker Carlson. I don't want to take credit for anything that Donald Trump has done because he's his own individual and he thinks for himself and he makes his own decisions. But
okay, Laura, let's rewind this. He swore to us that we would get accountability on the Jeffy Epi files. He swore, even back in 2016, Crooked Hillary was going to go to prison. Sorry, I'm trying to find like the right height. Sorry, I'm not trying to mess with it too much. My bad. Yeah, he was going to drain the swamp. Nothing he promised to do in 2016 did he do. Nothing he promised to do in 2024 has he done. But he's his own man. He's making his own decisions. So then he's just very evil and totally a liar. Or something happened along the way and somebody got to him. Or a little bit of both. Come on, Laura. Are you as dumb as you look? I think so. I think so.
I know that I am the person who informed the president of everything that Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly and Candace Owens and Alex Jones were saying about him. And despite preparing a lot of these reports for the White House, it's my understanding a lot of this information was not given to him or explained to him in full, which is alarming because you have to ask yourself who surrounding the president is serving as a gatekeeper for the woke right.
You.
A very important question. I'm always very moved when people change their mind publicly. It's something I do a lot with new information. You seem very humbled by the experience that you had, as you said, being bamboozled by Russia. I wonder if it's led you to rethink some of your other beliefs, other past statements. I remember in 2024, you said something that made me almost not vote for Donald Trump because I knew that you were close with him. You said something about if Kamala Harris wins the election, the White House will smell like curry. And I felt very offended by that and spoke out against it. I'm wondering, do you regret that kind of pugilism now that you're seeing yourself in a different kind of a role vis-a-vis the White House and foreign policy? What's your take on that?
I don't regret anything that I said about Kamala Harris. I think that a lot of these Democrats, they like to dish it out, but they can't take it. And, they've made plenty of remarks about Donald Trump and conservatives. And it was a joke. It was making fun of the fact that Kamala Harris was campaigning at a radical left spice shop on the campaign trail. And I had, the Democrats love to attack, but they don't ever like to provide the context or the backstory for what they're condemning people for. And she pretended like she had an organic campaign event at a spice shop in Pennsylvania. And the reality.
Not to mention, I think Candace proved that she's not African-American, right? She is from a family in Jamaica. Anyway, I forget all the details about that. But yeah, I think Candace is pretty much she's pretty much proved Kamala Harris isn't what she said she was. All right, I found, thank you to the audience, Zamet's comment that got read on Candace Owens. So here we go. Zamet, shout out to you. Oh, it's muted. Hold on. Let me make it loud. Okay.
Squishmallow. The incident of Louise and her squishmallow. It's just before bed every night. It's just, I don't know where that thing goes. Zamet writes, more tips at CandaceOwens.com. You all are watching the live streaming of the Unstoppable Truth Revolution. Yes, we are all united in this, and send us, we're piecing it all together. It's all coming, and the picture is revealing itself. Ali writes, let's assume.
Go Zamet. Go Zamet.
Reality is that the people who were operating the spy shop had a child who was working on Kamala Harris's campaign, and I exposed it. And so, you know, I think that it was a funny jab at the fact that she made these very ridiculous cooking comparisons. And, you know, I'm not in the business of apologizing to the left. These are people who have embraced assassination culture. These are people who have embraced an Islamic communist takeover of America.
I mean, she's not in the business of apologizing to anyone. Hold on, let me see.
Who's winning right now?
Well, look, I think that Trump's base has the ability to. The woke right wants people to think that they're winning, but again, a lot of this is amplified by these foreign networks on social media, and all of this could easily be put to rest if they started to enforce compliance within the Trump administration. What do I mean by
like literally? She's like working for Ukraine and Israel. It's just nuts. I'm not going to play this, but just to show you, she totally does this interview with Zelensky.
Thank you very much. First of all, about your McDonald's. So it's important first. It was always for me very important. Even during first Oval Cabinet with President Trump, I always tried just to say only one thing, that
he loves McDonald's. All right, well, she does this interview with him. It's the worst, dude.
Claim your right to survive and exist as a people.
Yeah.
But what do you say? What is your message as the president?
That's like the same thing about Israel. They're just using it. The right to survive and live as a people. Like, come on, can you use something else? Don't we all have that right? Okay. But countries don't necessarily have that right. Like historically, countries get invaded and go to war. I mean, did Afghanistan and Iraq have that right? What about Palestine? Do they have that right? They have the right to exist? No. Did Japan have that right to exist? No. Well, Korea? No. Vietnam? No. Oh, okay. Only when the shoe's on the other foot. Gotcha. All right. Let's go here. Let's listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay, Laura Loomer. Let's talk about
your
good friend Laura. Speaking of tribalism within MAGA, some of these influencers, Cat Turd, Brendan Dilley, and by my opinion, have lost their minds.
Yes, I agree.
I was going to ask you what you think is motivating them, but I think you've been pretty clear on that already.
Yeah, money.
Okay. So, but the feud between you and Laura Loomer has been exceptionally vicious. When did the trouble start with her?
Well, just to be clear, Laura Loomer and I don't consider us on the same level, so to speak.
Not at all.
I'm much older than Laura. I'm 52 years old, married most of my adult life. I've had a very successful career.
Yep.
I've raised 3 children.
Yep.
So she and I have very big differences. Laura's, she's much younger. She's around 30, I think.
Yep.
She's never been married.
Nope.
She has never had children.
Correct.
So we are in 2 very different areas as far as women. Her career, so to speak, has been basically her spewing all kinds of insanity on social media or into a microphone.
Correct.
She ran for Congress twice and she lost twice.
This is true.
I ran for Congress 3 times and I won all 3 times.
True again.
So I don't consider, I served in Congress. She never did. So I don't consider us
equals
in the same, I don't know what you call
ballpark.
So she's not someone I take serious.
Me neither.
However, Laura Loomer was someone that I had met years ago. I think it was like not long after she got kicked off of Twitter, and I saw her fighting on issues, and I was like, okay, good for her. She's fighting. So she was someone that I talked to, was very kind to. Fast forward a little bit of time when she was running for Congress, I endorsed her the first time. Supported her campaign financially, and backed her. She lost that race. And then in 2020, and then in 2022, I believe it was, she ran for Congress again. However, she jumped to another district hoping to be successful. And she
was
wanted
not.
my endorsement again, but she was running against Daniel Webster, who is actually a conservative
Yeah.
Republican.
A real one.
And I told her, I was like, you're not going to win, Laura. It's just, that's not a good seat to run in. I think if you're going to run for, look for an open seat. I was giving her different advice. Well, it was the fact that I refused to endorse her in that race and just didn't jump on board and do whatever she wanted. She
Yep.
got mad at me.
Yep.
Interesting.
And so it was back. So she got mad at me and then she started attacking me.
Yep.
And that is Laura's literal story with practically everybody
MO.
that she burns bridges with, which
Yep.
is almost everyone in her life. I mean, you can line up, I don't know, countless people from Milo Yiannopoulos to many others that supported Laura, tried to help her, worked with her, and then she burns them to the ground the minute they are honest and truthful with her or don't agree with exactly what she's wanting to do.
So you kind of feel like there was a grudge for a while, because as an outsider, I guess, looking at, I thought it started with Trump.
No, it's been there. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause you on that face. All right, let me get to these real quick. Thank you so much, Vince, for the 10 jewels. Thank you, Suede, for the 10 jewels. And thank you, Zamit. Russia-Ukraine conflict is Christians unaliving Christians tragically for non-Christians. Bro, you like hit it. You always hit it on the head. Yes. It's so tragic. And they're trying to tell you that, like, we should be fighting that war. We should be fighting Iran. We should be fighting for Israel and Palestine. They want us to hate Russia. They're pre-loading this, like, possible WW3 with Russia, which we really have nothing against. Just historically, it's been lied to us that, like, they're our enemy. You know, there's the Trojan horse is already in the castle, ladies and gentlemen. The enemy is within the gates. That's who we should be very, very concerned about. Israel. Like, hands down. And our own different factions within our government trying to undermine our democracy, working with foreign countries to steal classified information, sell it across to our adversaries, working with other intel agencies to blackmail our politicians, to ensure the outcome that they need, that they want, that benefit this, like, hidden octopus, right? That controls, like, all of us. I just want us all to wake up. I want us all to unite and work together against the true enemy. That's what I really want. I want our country back. So if you want to know who is part of the problem, here we go.
Green Post, I guess the anti-Avengers here. She says, we said no more foreign wars and we meant it, and supported Donald Trump because he made that promise, but he's betrayed us all.
Hold on. So he's going to make fun of Marjorie Taylor Greene and everyone, but Zam, I'm going to get to yours right now because that was, Trump, Trojan, Donald, Judas horse. Wait, Trump, Trojan, John. Oh my gosh. I got to slow down. Trump, Trojan, Donald, Judas, Trump. That is a tongue twister, Zamet. Can you say that fast? I'm going to look at it really quick and try to say it fast. Trump, Trojan, Donald, Judas. Trump, Trojan, Donald, Judas, Trump. There we go. I did it. I agree. Freaking A, I agree. That's hard to say. You guys should try to say it wherever you are. Wherever you're streaming from, try to say that fast. And you'll see why.
Commitment is America first for all Americans, right, left, and center. Oh boy. The movement has begun, she says. And in this picture, you can see Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent, some chick, I have no idea who she is, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene, for some reason, her new husband, who used to be, it was either a Newsmax
So that lady is Joe Kent's wife, by the way.
host or a One American News host. I don't know. And then another chick that I have no idea who she is. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are
I'm pretty sure that's Thomas Massey's wife.
your Avengers. Those are the people that are
those
going to save America.
Those are
That-
the pretenders, not the Avengers. Those are the
Look,
pretenders.
hey, I just want to remind you, the guy sitting at the head of the table, Tucker Carlson, is openly admitting to being oppressed and attacked by demons
Oh, yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Like right now. And again, I'm not saying that's fake.
So we watched it. I played that. He is such a freaking liar, Graham Allen. He never said that. He was talking about in the past that he's felt the oppression, you know, especially working in like Hollywood and media, and some of the people that he's worked for, worked around. Like, what is so bad to say that we've all experienced demonic oppression? Oppression. Okay. Tucker never said possession, number one. It was oppression. Okay. Sean Ryan did say that he's been experiencing, I think, oppression / possession. Sean's also been places and done things most of us never have. And there's some real evil in those places and some real stuff that can affect your heart and soul, that it lingers with you probably, most certainly, until you root it out. And Graham Allen would have you believe that they should just shut up, pack up, and go home. They shouldn't be trying to start a third party. They shouldn't even have a podcast until they get this figured out. They've already given their life to Christ. They're followers of Christ. They're real, true patriots. And they've acknowledged that, well, Tucker acknowledged that it was in the past, it's dealt with. Sean's acknowledged it's an issue, and he's seeking real priests and help to get rid of it. Like, that is addressing it. It's because they pose a threat. That's why they just want him to shut up and go home. Thank you for the 10 joules.
Very much, I believe in that 100%. What I'm saying is, the guy that's leading the charge of this new, well, what happened? The guy who's leading the charge of this new thing is openly admitting to be in demonic warfare and undergoing demonic oppression as we speak. I'm just saying, before you lead a political movement, perhaps you should take some time off to deal with that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And maybe that is a view that's controversial, but I just feel like if you're openly having to deal with demonic oppression, perhaps maybe we should put on the back burner the leading this new political movement for right, left, and center. I don't know what that looks like. That's interesting. Maybe
it's not that hard to think about, bro. We have all woken up and realized that the far right and the far left are what is the op and the control from the elites. And they want us to be in the extremes, right? That's where they can get people radicalized and hating one another, believing that everyone on the right is the far right. Everyone on the left is the far left. But the good majority of like honest Americans are just center, right of center, left of center. Most of us are right there. And that is where the majority of us are. And that's where the party should be made for all of us. That really, we don't like the Republicans running the show, and we don't like the Democrats running the show. That's the problem. That's what we've identified. So we know who Graham works for. So in that photo, right, it was taken on August 1st, 2026. And Tucker Carlson is in it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent, Thomas Massey, Brian Glenn, and then we have Caroline Moffa, the wife of Thomas Massey, and Heather Kent, the wife of Joe Kent. So I was right. Those are the two ladies that were next to Joe is Heather Kent, and then across from Thomas is Caroline Moffa, who is Thomas Massey's wife. So freaking Graham Allen can't even do a freaking Google search. Dang.
You should get the demon figured out first. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
We're going to
before
get
you
people to vote, but I
Yeah.
can't figure out how to get rid of demonic oppression.
Yeah.
But by God, we're going to get this done. I don't know, man. It's
Yeah, you need to figure
lunatic.
out your spirit and your soul before you start your dollar store, Dollar General version of Avengers. Like, might be a good idea to check on.
Look at his face. Okay, so I don't want you to think I actually think Gay Ham is smart. Okay, it's just that Tweedle Todd, okay, is so dumb. All right. So to answer your question, so thank you for the 30 joules. To answer your question, who is dumber? Gay Ham or his buddy? His buddy is way dumber, but that's not saying much about Gay Ham. Okay. They're both stupid. It's just that Tweedledee is really, really dumb. Every time he opens his mouth, even Gay Ham goes, I don't agree with that. Or he makes like a face like he's like, I don't know how that they are. I think they're partners, maybe.
On your own spirit first, but okay.
Your own spirit first.
Again, there comes a point where I just am legitimately tired. Like, hey,
we can tell
crazy people exist.
We're looking at
The
it.
end. I mean, what else is there to say? These are a bunch of nobodies.
Shoulder biters.
Tucker is O for everything on people.
Wait, Graham and freaking Tweedle Todd over here, Sweeney Todd, are saying that Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Joe Kent, Thomas Massey are nobodies. Let that sink in. I just shut up. Just shut up, Graham. Tucker keeps saying on his own show that Democrats hate God and white people when most Dems are white Christians. He is a divisive liar. I haven't seen him say that recently. He said that recently, Alati. I haven't seen say that. Who can you tell me who was on his show? That'll help me timestamp it. Who was he interviewing when he says that? I just would love to be able to go back and see that.
That he endorses. In fact, his endorsement is the kiss of death in an election. Thomas Massey couldn't win his congressional seat back in like
because Israel paid for it, you freaking idiot. Miriam Adelson bought it on behalf of Israel. How dumb are you? Don't answer that.
a Trump plus 43 Kentucky district. Marjorie Taylor Greene, same thing. Quit.
No, she left, bro. She had enough of the corruption. Okay. Look at, we're going to have all the talking heads got shoved out today to make fun of this new party.
Gathering of the most brilliant members of our voted out political class, our now resigned political class, who gathered over the weekend in Tucker Carlson's cabin in Maine, where he wore flannel like a man of the people who's worth tens of millions of dollars. Plus, it's high time I talk about common good conservatism. Here we go. There's been a weird, fascinating new phenomenon on the horseshoe right. We've talked about it before. This weird embrace of radical Islam, right? Tucker Carlson traveling to every Muslim country he can find and talking about the magic of Sharia law, or Candace Owens apologizing to Muslims all over the world for the evils and predations of the United States and all the rest. Now, I mean, this is obviously tied to the horseshoe right's deep desire to shift the focus to wait for it always the Yuden.
Bro, his voice just drives me nuts. It's so hard to listen to this guy. He's trying way too hard. He's just trying so hard.
First shoe, right. Just genius level stuff. So Tucker Carlson, still cosplaying as a man of the woods, this silver spoon jacket with his gigantic complex up in Maine, where apparently he just stole Gaston's antler chandelier.
Why does it sound like Ben is like jealous? Why is it that Ben is legitimately jealous of people that are more manly than him, more talented than him, and that on their own are more successful, more popular, more wealthy than him? He was legitimately jealous of Breitbart, right? Bannon, legitimately jealous and threatened by Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson. He literally has a little man syndrome. He can't even hide it. Little man, little horse, big eyebrows. Bro. And it's titled The Dumbest Dinner in Politics Just Happened.
From Beauty and the Beast. He had a dinner.
You're so funny.
At his all wooden cabin that he built with his own two bare hands and lots of labor from other people. And then he's like a rail splitter. And he hosted at this dinner the greatest collection of minds since the Coca-Cola company decided to try new Coke. And the blazing intellect at this table could illuminate. It has the wattage of a whale oil candle. It is just this is the kiddie table of brains over here. All the chairs should be 13 inches high.
Who wrote this for him, dude? It's so bad. It's like so bad. She is so brilliant. She is so wonderful. Need that. So he married her. So that's great. So they're sitting there at the table. Marjorie Taylor Greene sitting down there next to Tucker Carlson at the far end. Tucker looking like Al Pacino. Right, that's enough. I can't do it. Let's watch how Charlie handled Benji, buddy, pow right at the end. Okay. Let's just remember, look at the face of Judas himself.
Israel bombed Qatar, which houses a lot of Hamas officials. What happened here? And if I were to introduce just the skeptical question, will this potentially endanger America's own interests in the Middle East? So please, Ben, help me better understand the situation.
If you don't mind, can you just say something about what the day itself was like for you?
Yeah. Well,
it can be brief.
Yeah, I know. It's so the day before, actually, I had booked an interview for him that he was not super pleased that I booked for him, but there was a good reason for doing it. But he was like, you know what? I'm tired now, and I want to focus on the tour tomorrow. So you're gonna guest host the show tomorrow.
Charlie's voice is not silent. We're gonna pick up that bloodstained microphone where Charlie left it. You know, we couldn't be, frankly, more honored to join you guys as much as we can in the fight.
Thank you for that, and thank you for donating the Daily Wire $1 million. Breaking news on this show. Thank you guys for honoring Charlie so well today.
And offering everything at their disposal to Erica and Turning Point USA in the wake of Charlie being assassinated after he got off the phone with Brian Harpole's security team. Good job. Job is done.
God bless you.
For example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I don't opine on whether it's evil or not. But my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business?
So that's the kind of guy he is. He like gets on her own stage and tries to call her out in front of her own audience. He's a little man, a very little man. With no real power. All right, let's see what Jeremy Boring does with this guy.
when Tucker came out and told the world that he had been attacked by demons, people laughed at him. I didn't, because
That's not what he said.
he had told me about it right after it
Gosh.
happened. And this was like a year or so before he told the world. He texted
Okay,
me.
so it's a year or more before he just told the world. Okay, which was recently. And that's like, wait, he told him a year or more before he told us. So at least 2 years ago is when this maybe happened, or at least this demonic oppression happened. You have Graham Allen and you have all these other people saying like it's something that Tucker admitted to happening right now. And they're all out here. So that came out over the weekend, that photo. You know, also Tucker just did that interview with Elizabeth Lane, and a week or so ago announced that he's going to start a third party. Now they meet. It's for real. Candace is telling everyone, don't vote, don't join the military. I agree. That's like, these are things that we have at our disposal without a full-on revolution with kinetic like battle. If we could actually all be on the same page and like just not show up to work, or all boycott certain goods, or not go vote, not sign up, like they lose their power once we realize and we get organized and we coordinate together. I mean, the only other option is we don't, and then it ends up in a full-on like civil war, but I don't want that. That's bad. But like some sort of revolution where we get our country back is much better, where we unite together against these oligarchs and these freaking sickos and take our country back and give it back to us. It's rightfully ours.
Me, because he knew I was a serious Christian, being Orthodox. I do have a demonology.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, that if this really happened to you, you need to talk to an exorcist. And I connected him with an exorcist I know. And the exorcist also brought in a second exorcist to work with him. But Tucker decided he didn't want to do that. He said, I'm too Protestant for that. This seems like witchcraft to me. That's his actual word. I went back. I still have the text saved. I went back to read them recently. Tucker said, exorcism seems like witchcraft. I'm like, wait, you think you were attacked by a demon, but a Catholic or an Orthodox exorcist coming as witchcraft. Anyway.
Well, if he didn't grow up with it, like I could see why he would think it's kind of, you know, foreign to him, right? Like he's not been exposed to it. Let me see where the next piece is. No, that was it. Because he goes on and then he's trying to like substantiate his claims. I don't want to lose track of some of the people that I think have, oh my gosh, this stinking mouse is freaking out. They've removed themselves from the spotlight, but are very much a part of this. Okay. Rob McCoy, Jack Hibbs, Greg Laurie, Frank Turk is still in the spotlight, obviously. And who's the other one? Who am I missing? James Cadiz. They're misleading hundreds of thousands of Christian Americans to believe all this slop and nonsense. It's just so gross. Why don't we remember what Rob McCoy said? And this came out September 30th, 2025. Let's here we go. Okay, and my wife knows people that know this guy. And it is, yeah, oh my gosh. And I've had, now that I remember, people in our community used to go there as well and have people that still go there, and people, yeah, they've written me different things about Rob, and I've never received one good email about Rob at all. I know that Rob doesn't still teach at Godspeak, but I mean, he still guest speaks places, but not a good dude. Not a good dude. And the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, oh Mikey.
In Christendom, there's churches in America last Sunday that didn't even speak a word about him. I saw a poster that some children made that said, "Not all heroes wear capes." And they had a picture of Charlie. And I thought to those little ones, Charlie's not wearing a cape, but in accordance with Revelation 6:11, he's wearing the white robe of a martyr.
Look at how many people believe this guy. Look at how big this church is. They do multiple services. Usually churches like this, for those of you that don't know, they'll do a Saturday night service, and then they'll do 3 to 4 services on Sunday. And then most churches like this also have satellite campuses where they stream this, in to their service. They'll have like their own worship there, and they'll have like other people that like will, come up and like introduce and like pray and read the bulletin for the day. But then they just play the recording. That's how many people are being misled by Jack Hibbs, James Cadiz, Greg Laurie, Rob McCoy. Frank Turk doesn't have a church, but just imagine that's at least a couple 100,000 probably. I mean, Greg Laurie's church alone is massive. Notice the color in the back? Not by accident. White and blue? Not by accident.
I look at him as the Jim Elliot of our time. And I see Erica as the Elizabeth Elliot of our time.
Oh my gosh.
That woman is tough and she's strong.
Barf.
I'm so glad they gave her that position at Turning Point, because nobody knows the heart of Charlie like Erica Kirk.
So gross.
You see, when a martyr dies, his power dies. Excuse me. When a tyrant dies, his power dies. But when a martyr dies...
That was a nice Freudian slip. Interesting. So he's thinking about Charlie. And he's saying, specifically when he's saying a martyr dies, he's thinking about Charlie. And that when Charlie died as a martyr, his power died with him. Interesting. That's what came out of your subconscious. Just bleh, bleh. You can't help it. None of them can. That's what happens when you just try to shove reality down, when you try to keep truth and facts down. They just have a way of creeping out. Remember when Andrew was like, yeah, we're trying to process our guilt. Grief. We're trying to process grief. Yep, we know. But I don't even think they feel guilt. So
his power multiplies. I was texting with a pastor of a very large church who said, we didn't really do anything last Sunday, but we're going to carry the memorial service at our Sunday night service. But I see all these political leaders speaking. Is the gospel going to be preached?
So that's got to be Jack Hibbs or Greg Laurie. Okay. Also, I just want you to think of what it does to a man like these guys that for the last 30, 40 years, they've gotten up on stage and have had thousands and thousands and thousands of people pretty much praise them, applaud them, somewhat worship them, come to them with their life's problems and ask them for their wisdom, for their prayer. even the best men will struggle to keep that in check. Okay? Even the best. These aren't the best men. These are the worst men that have never kept that in check. And they love it. They love it. All right. Just one more thing. If you want to know, like, what does Rob McCoy like to talk about? What it says down here is the church and Israel. 8 months ago, November 23rd, knew that we were going to war. Guarantee you, knew that we were going to war. Charlie's dead, and he's going to push the church in Israel.
I'm just saying. I'm honored to be with you. Pastor Stephen, it was an amazing trip. I went over to take our church group and another church that had joined us, Vintage Church, with Pastor Stephen Martin, who I put these two together. It's like nitro and glycerin. Wait till you see these guys. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't. So he went to Israel. He loves Israel. He hates America, loves Israel. There you go. There's the bullet points. Okay. They all have like hundreds and hundreds of sermons on like the church in Israel, the American church in Israel, Israel. I just don't know what to do with these people. I'm going to throw them away. Let's see. I did have, this one is, no. Yeah, this one's pretty good. So Baron Coleman went on Julian Dory, and I thought it was a really good episode. Hold on. This is the coming up part. When does it go to the actual? Does the whole thing say coming up? Oh, it does. All right. I'll just play it. And then I am going to call my pops.
We had talked about the day he died. We talked about who would take over TPUSA as just.
All right. So Baron had a friend that was connected to TPUSA and like knew people. He actually, this friend knew Charlie. Okay.
It was just a placeholder. And he had mentioned Tyler Boyer. He had mentioned Benny Johnson. He had mentioned Justin Strife, the COO.
It would have been the
he'd
worst.
just been appointed to this new executive role. Why not just put him in there for a little while? And then he had mentioned Erica Kirk, and I was like, who the hell is that?
That was weird right from the jump to me. I talked with you about this on the phone, but I'll never forget when, so he died on a Wednesday, and then Friday morning, like we said, that was when they said Tyler Robinson had been arrested. And then I had a wedding to go to on Saturday that was like 6 hours away. So I was going to get up early and drive there. So Friday night, I'm sitting in here, I'm working, and I see something on Twitter that his wife, Erica, is going to come out and give a statement. So I'm like, okay. So I pull up the live stream on YouTube, and I just remember seeing her walk in, and the only thing I felt was guilt, because right away, that thing in my gut that goes, what the fuck? Something ain't right here. This ain't real. I've never had that thought in a situation like this before. It was blinking on a 12.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this and I'm like, and I'm going to Twitter and everyone's like praising her. There's like a mass like campaign of people being like, oh my God, bravest woman ever, yada, yada, yada. And I remember shutting the computer afterwards and like just being quiet. And I'm like, that's an impure thought. It's so mean. This is a grieving widow. Don't think that. But then I'm driving to the wedding the next day and I'm thinking about it in the car. I could not get it out of my head. And so Sunday morning, driving back from the wedding, back up here, I call up my buddy Danny Jones. And it was like the two of us were like coming out of the closet. Because I'm like, hey, man, we talk like every day.
Yeah. I can't wait till someday I get to meet Julian Dory and Danny Jones. I've watched those guys for years. Their podcasts are so good. It's pretty cool.
Okay, what's going on? I'm like, you watched that thing the other night? What thing? Oh, the thing with the wife? I'm like, Yeah. What do you think? And he's like, bro, it was so weird. I'm like, oh my God, it was so weird to me too. Oh my God, I felt like I couldn't tell anyone about this. He's like, dude, something's off. And he's like, even my wife said it. And women pick up on that shit real good. They know that shit. And we were just talking about it. And I'm like, what is that? And, still the narrative was you'd go on social media and most people were like, oh, she's so brave. And then you get the WWE wedding with the Vicks and the fucking, no ugly crying.
Yeah.
I know people grieve weird, but
he means the WWE memorial. That's what he means. Goodness gracious, this mouse.
The WWE wedding or funeral, I'm sorry. Was it
Memorial.
Before that? Was it after that? At what point did you start saying to yourself, wait a minute, something ain't right there?
Yeah. So it wasn't that for me. I mean, I watched it. I watched the speech, and looking back at it, it sends all kinds of crazy alarm bells off.
Sure
But
does.
At the time, whatever. And actually, the guy I was talking to when we were first learning about it in real time, and the pictures were coming out, the videos were coming out. He called me back. I want to say Monday or Tuesday. So what was that, like the 15th, maybe something like that? It was a day or two before she was announced that she was going to be the person. And he said, hey, I've got some information out of TPUSA. I know who they're going to put in Charlie's place. Because we had talked about the day he died, we talked about who would take over TPUSA as even if it's just a placeholder. And he had mentioned Tyler Boyer. He had mentioned Benny Johnson. He had mentioned Justin Strife, the COO. He had just been appointed to this new executive role. Why not just put him in there for a little while? And then he had mentioned Erica Kirk. And I was like, who the hell is that? Like, who is Erica Kirk? I didn't know who Charlie's wife was. And then I saw her give that speech, and then he called me back a couple days later. He's like, they're going to give it to Erica. And I was like, why? And he was like, I was like, you know what? I actually probably still have that text. I think the initial part of the conversation was by text. He said, I was like, well, you know what? I think it's the right thing to do in the short run, because I viewed Tyler Boyer as an opportunist and kind of shady. Benny Johnson, I thought, was like a total disaster.
Yeah.
And, TPUSA at the time, even if you didn't like Charlie, it had value. It had the ability to turn.
I mean, the only reason I really wanted to play this was that, like, we all felt it. We all know how bad it was, and we're not alone. Don't let them make you think, don't let them gaslight you that, like, you're evil for noticing how bad Erica has been from day one. All right. Erica Kirk never acknowledged the grief of her in-laws. I know. I've never seen her mention anything online, never seen her make a public statement, never saw her comfort them, never saw them comfort her. What to do with that? I don't think they are aligned. What up, Pop? You're on the air.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
what's going on
Hey.
to the Black Line Brief
Hey.
community? Hey, who was that guy you had on? Yeah, she was amazing. I had her on. Yeah, I brought her on stage. Who was that guy?
That's Rob freaking McCoy. That talks like that.
Yeah, I smoked too many cigarettes, but I really didn't smoke because I'm a Christian.
Yes.
I don't mean anything personal, man. You know me.
No. Yeah.
One of the things I just love doing, being on here, man. First of all, look at your studio. It's amazing.
Yeah, Mike and I did a good job, right? It looks good.
Oh yeah, the son-in-law, or wait a minute, hold on. Your brother-in-law did a great job, and but it looks like you work for SpaceX.
I know, it looks really cool.
Yeah, you're ready to launch the next space shuttle. But actually, you're launching some good stuff, and it's just amazing that watching your community grow. And congratulations! I looked today. I think you were just over 31,000.
Yeah, let's look. I'll look. Keep going.
Subs, and I just want to thank everybody in the bottom of my heart that just supporting my son and my daughter-in-law, and they really believe in this, and so it's just great to it's great to see this. I'm looking forward to making some things, like, because you're also your brother-in-law has got you on. You're on everything, so it's going to be fun to do things like, in case you missed what happened in the Black Line Brief, and then it goes to you. We see you doing something. Black Line Brief on YouTube. Watch it now.
Or on
It's Matt
Spotify.
McKim, naked like you've never seen him before. Maybe not that one. We won't use that one.
Don't use that one, Dad.
Oh, so
How
I
hot
just
is
want
it
to
in
tell you
Texas,
this,
Dad?
and your audience and everybody. Just thank you. Really appreciate you. Pray for you and everything. So, what's on the show this week? What do you got coming up?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
have on. Can you hear me,
I
Dad?
lost you.
No,
I
we're
see you.
here.
I don't hear
can-
you. I don't hear you.
I know. I've been talking
Do
this
you
whole
hear
time.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Wave your hand
Yes.
if you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Signals.
I can hear
Yeah, there
you.
we are. Okay, good.
Yes.
All right.
But
I really can't hear you. I don't know what happened. You know, and I'm going to call
Here,
your
I'll
brother-in-law, my son, right now. Get him up out of bed and go, get this fixed.
I'm gonna remove you and then come back. Hold on. I got a better idea. Let me do this. Hold on.
Are we going to do this? We're going to pay. You can bring me in by phone?
Yeah. I can put you up to the speaker.
Can you hear me on the phone now?
Yes.
Back in the day, remember when we used to have to do this kind of stuff and you hold them. I mean, we used to have to hold the cell phone to the microphone.
Yes.
So that you could get through. I remember doing we were covering fires in Southern California. And, you know, there's always a fire going, some kind of fire going. It's either fire or an earthquake. And I remember doing that so many times.
Because you were on the radio.
Yeah, I was on the radio, little television, little news anchor stuff.
Yeah.
It's 7:00, and here's what's happening in Los Angeles. The homeless are running wild, as usual. From the desert to the sea, to all of the United States. Here's Matt McKim.
What was that radio station? The big one that you used to work for?
That one was a Kiss FM in Los Angeles.
Kiss FM.
102.7 Kiss FM, LA's #1 hit music station. It was 1-800-520-1027. Outside the 800 area code, it was still 1-800-520-1027.
You're so good.
Oh man, it's crazy what goes on in the brain. But this is, you know what, this is great. Just watching you grow, because do you still have your original videos up, like the first and second video? Did you still have those up? Are they still posted?
They're not posted. I had to make room. I
Okay.
still have them. They're saved in my library. But what was happening was, because all of my original videos were not lives, they're the videos. When people would log on to my channel, some people didn't know to click on the live button to see all my recent videos are all lives. And so they'd click and they'd be like, I can't find your recent video. And so in order to make the channel homepage easy, you can't take the videos off of there and make the lives the first thing you see. So I just had to take my videos, the non-lives, and make them inactive.
Right. Don't bring it now in 5 years. That when you say you celebrate your 50th anniversary, then post those again. You don't need to post. They were great. It was great. It was like there was 2 people watching. Me and your wife.
They're so bad.
My daughter. I know, it was great. It was just like, but you were on there doing the thing. Hi, hello everybody. Hi, I'm Matt McKim. Wait a second. I pushed this button. No, it was great. It's just so proud of you, man.
Thanks.
And and also just every channel, whatever you believe. So it's one great thing that we still have in this country. God willing, we will keep it, to be able to pick a side or a belief and be able to follow it and talk about it freely and so forth. And so hopefully that'll continue. But I know you're very passionate about what you do, and it's amazing when I listen to you and just like different names come up that aren't typically in the news, and who, or organizations, you just know who they are. And I'm just like, how'd you learn that? Was that just watching podcasts for years?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I never really watched movies. I'll watch movies with the family, but my spare time, I only watch documentaries, educational videos, and then podcasts, which are just live versions of that, because people like Danny Jones, Julian Dory, or Joe Rogan they'd have very educated, experienced, informed people come on their show to talk about a specific thing. And so I'd really watch and consume the people that they'd have on about like JFK, World War II, all the things that I'm fascinated about.
Well, you just, it's like right on the tip of the tongue. And what I like about it is that, you're authentic. And like, I just want to wish you and the family travel mercies and blessings. I think it's really cool that you're going up to California to visit your mother, and she's not a spring chicken, you know what I mean? And just really, she's got a lot of, your mom is, God bless her. She's amazing, man. So, but that's good that, you're going to go and visit them. And, I heard you, I guess you might go visit somebody on Camp Pendleton, your old stomping grounds.
I'm going to make some calls, that's for sure. And if I can, I will.
So I was like, if you were on, like, if I was back on the air, like, and I want to interview you, and I ask you, so the one thing I want to do is just real quick. So let's do an interview real quick. I'll be an interviewer and you be the interviewee. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So Matt, I want to take you back to your days in when you were in the Marine Corps. And what is when you left the Corps? What is the number one thing you took out of the Corps with you? The one thing you learned, or whatever it is. What's the number one thing you took out with you?
Discipline.
Really, it's just how's it translated into your life?
I'm extremely disciplined. I pretty much do the same thing every day. I mean, now it's going to change a little bit now that I don't like go to work, but I mean, some people might be bored with routine, but I think the more disciplined you can be, the more free you can actually be. That it's not like a hindrance, but it's actually something that frees you. And so, yeah, just being extremely disciplined with what I watch, what I listen to, what I eat, how I spend my time, my work ethic. Yeah.
Well, I can see, and I can see it translated in your life because, you went to Bible college, you graduated that, you went and got your master's degree in psychology at Pepperdine, and and then you got your licenses and the things that you did as a therapist, and now, it's all come together, and I can just see the Lord working in your life, and you're doing something that you're called to do, and situations, I mean, things are just private, but situations in your life have made it where, this is what you're going to need to do full time for a while. And it's exciting because it's uncharted waters. You never know how it's going to be. And the entertainment business is, well,
it's a fickle
ride.
thing. It's a fickle thing.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun because of the people you get to meet. And like when you look at the people in your, in the chat and the members of the community, and and I'm part of it too. I pop in every once in a while. They're so nice. I'll say hi, it's Pop, and hey everybody, and people are just really nice and everything else, and that's what I like. And you don't have, people aren't cursing, and and if there's stuff like that, you guys, you have the mods, I guess is what you call them. You get all that, you weed all that out. So yeah.
Well,
so,
one of these days,
and
I'd love to have you on next time you come visit. We have to do like a collab show together.
Yeah, it would be great to to do that, and I know that the focus has been that Charlie Kirk and just the respect that's shown him, that you all show him, and give to him on the show is wonderful, and thanks for doing that.
Yeah, but eventually, I will do different stuff for sure. But as long as there's more to dig and find out regarding this, and especially during we got to, I mean, it 100% looks like Tyler Robinson is just 100% a patsy. So we got to make sure that he doesn't get put to death for something he didn't do.
Wow. Look at the issues you're front and center on. So, keep using that discipline you learned from the Marine Corps and Semper Fi, buddy.
Thank you, Dad.
All right. I love you, son, and love your community.
Thank you. Love you too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, you guys. Yeah, I saw some questions in the chat. Sorry, I don't mean to shake it. It's just like this boom mic. It's like it's got this feature that you have to like push really hard because it's so stiff to go above where you want it, because then it like locks into place. But yeah, so that's my wife's dad. I saw some of the questions in the chat. He is pretty much my dad, though. That's why I call him dad. I call him pops. I'm very close with my wife's family. That's why my brother-in-law like works with us, which is so cool. Like growing up, I didn't have a good like family unit. My mom was a good mom, you know, like she was awesome. I love my mom to death. She was a single parent mom. She was a nurse for like 40 something years. All of my best like memories growing up was when it was just like her and my siblings. But you know how it can be with like single parent moms in this day and age, especially in the 90s. And even now though, like feeling that exhausted. She had 4 kids, carrying the burden of raising 4 kids on her own, thinking that she needed a man in the home to help. And even though I know that's like very biblical too, her man meter, her ability to choose a good man was broken. And so unfortunately all of my like really bad memories are from when those guys came in the picture. And my real dad passed away when I was 16. I only met him once when I was like 12. And my mom had him divorced when I was like 2. So I never really grew up with a dad. And then had like really bad stepdads across the board. And so I always wanted, I spent a lot of my years growing up at like friends' homes. Like one of the ones that I grew up with, it was this LDS family that was, that's why I ended up like converting to Mormonism when I was like a teenager, like 17, 18, because they had this thing that I never experienced growing up, like this family unit. And I always wanted that. And so, marrying my wife and like getting this family that I never had. She's the only girl out of all boys. And, getting brothers that, I never thought I'd have, and a dad and a mom. My mother-in-law is amazing too. Has been a real blessing. And getting to do this now, that was what I was going to say. I always wanted to like have a family business and like work with my family and provide for like all my family. Like one of the things that I promised like my mom and even, my in-laws is that one day I'll be able to get a place for all of us and we could all live near each other on like a compound where we all have like separate like homes far enough away that we're private, have privacy, but close enough that we're all together and that we could all work together. And that's just like a dream that I have. And I don't know, doing this, it looks like that might be possible. And it's really exciting to have, at least right now, one of my brother-in-laws come on board, and look at what he's done, and he's done so much more behind the scenes too. So really love him a lot. Truly blessed to have this family that I didn't get to have, and my girls get to experience growing up. My grandparents were all dead before I grew up, except one. And she passed away when I was like 6. And so my girls get to have a life that I didn't get to have. So it's just a real blessing to experience this in my adulthood and kind of get to live vicariously through my kids, watching their relationships with like their aunts and uncles and their grandma and grandpa is pretty cool. It's like a lot of the generational sins and curses that plagued my side of the family forever. My wife and I have been very intentional that that's not happening here. And we've broken some very serious generational curses and sins within our marriage. And it's been a major blessing. And yeah. So I think that's one thing like all of us want to do is give our kids the life we'd never had and the life that we all kind of deserve, So, all right, you guys, it's late. I still have to pack up all this stuff to get ready to go. I have to fly early tomorrow morning. I got to call my brother-in-law. I'm not a technical guy. So he's got to help me decide, remember what stuff to pack, what stuff not to pack. So this is going to be the end of the show tonight. I hope you guys will be okay with that. I got to get everything going. Okay. If you guys haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit the like and the subscribe. Also, after the video posts, please write a comment and hit the hype points for me. It definitely helps support this channel. Let me make sure that I got to all the super chats and there's a couple outstanding. Thank you for the 2 jewels, Townsend, Mountain Gem. And then 2 more. And 2 more. Wait, did I click? My mouse, stop it. This mouse is just not behaving. Let me make sure I got all the rest. I did. All right, you guys. You guys, I love you guys. God bless you guys. I will see you guys. Oh, so Clint Russell from Liberty Lockdown will be Thursday. And then tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm going to have Muppet Masher, who's been doing amazing work on X. Candace and Barron have both used his work, and his buddy Matthew St. Baker. So stay tuned for that. I love you guys. God bless you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.